Arguably game of the round. The Demons up against the Hawks as round 10 rolls on. Saturday footy at the MCG. There is no late change. A couple made at selection for the Demons. Turner and Rivers come in. Meanwhile, for the Hawks, they've made 4 changes. They're without their fullback and their full forward. There's no Barris, there's no Gunston, and they take on the D's, who are perfect at this venue. They're 5-0 in season 2026. Corbin Middlemass in commentary alongside Ben Cameron. Hello, Ben.
Hello, Corbin. Great to be here. 30 years on from the merger game. Can you believe that? These two teams meet again as separate entities, and both have gone on to win premierships from that point onwards. One for Melbourne, multiple for Hawthorn. The Welcome to Country taking place at the moment in Sir Doug Nicholls' round as well. Looking forward to it. Probably match of the round, as you said.
Let's drop in on the concluding stages of that.
Live amongst all of our communities here now on Wurundjeri land, or generally as Melbourne itself. So to feel truly welcome to this land, respect of the land, respect of the people of the land and the culture of the land is part of the ceremonial process that allows you to feel safe on country to conduct your business. And like I said at the very start, I feel that respect from both the AFL and the two clubs here represented today. So I'd like to say on behalf of myself and my community and my ancestors, we say, Wimidjika Wurundjeri Bik, welcome Wurundjeri country to you all. Have a great time, have a great game, both teams. Nongudjan, thank you.
It's been marketed very much as the Pickett Pocket or the Wizard Bay, with Kazai Pickett at one end and then, of course, Nick Watson at the other. Let's see how that goes this afternoon when they go head-to-head. What a juicy matchup it is in prospect. The Demons, do they belong in that top tier of teams in the competition? They couldn't have got the Hawks on a better weekend. The Premiership Pie, Luke Ball's here with us. Hello, Bally.
Corby, yeah, great to be here. Agree. Given that the grand final rematch didn't really play out, did it? It was a bit of a fizzer in the end with Geelong so impressive. This absolutely shapes as the match of the round. Really excited to come along today, Ben. Beautiful day at the MCG. Two very, very watchable teams, and those two players in particular, Corby, very, very watchable players. Not too many more watchable in the competition at the moment.
Adam Ramanaskas is here. Ram, do the D's belong with the top-tier teams? Are we going to find out this afternoon?
Well, yeah, we are. We're going to find out, and there's probably no better time to get Hawthorn with the outs, Barras and Gunston we spoke about at either end of the ground. But I think Connor Nash has also been critical to the makeup of Hawthorn now for a number of years. That taller midfielder just does a lot of the grunt work, so they'll certainly miss him today. But you look at the matchups; they're just everywhere. Like Bally and I were talking off air, just who takes Nick Watson? What does Sam Mitchell do with Cozzy Pickett? How does Hawthorn's two-prong ruck attack go against Gawn and obviously Max Heath as well? So there's some fascinating sort of little subplots within this game, but I think by the end of the night we'll find out if Melbourne are the real deal or not.
It's an easy sell if you're trying to make the case for the Demons. Perfect here this year, 5-0 at the G. No Barris, no Gunston in the opposition. Coming back from Perth. The last 4 teams playing the next week coming back from Perth are 1-3.
Okay.
So all that going against the Hawks this afternoon. It's also, if you're a big fan of your nostalgia, not just we'll be talking about all the great First Nations players, I'm sure, that have played our game over many years in Sir Doug Nicholls' round. We got the best First Nations player in the game currently in Kazai Pickett on show this afternoon. It's also 30 years, Ben, since the merger game, of course, going way back to 1996.
Hey, it certainly is. As I mentioned in my opener, where am I meant to take that, Corby? It's a tremendous...
I was waiting for you to flick your gag out.
I didn't have a gag about it. I just, it was 30 years ago.
Working
Obviously,
well with you too early.
Yeah, the thing that I mainly remember is the jumper with the red up the top, the gold with the hawk in the middle, and the blue down the bottom. It wasn't the best looking jumper.
Ray Chamberlain's with us in the front row of the grandstand. Hello, Razor.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. It is absolutely magnificent down here. 21 degrees. They're expecting 60,000. I'm looking forward to this game enormously. Big shout out to Brendan Hosking, one of our field umpires today, celebrating Game 300, AFL Life membership. Highly respected human being.
The jumpers this afternoon. So the Hawks Indigenous Guernsey has been designed by Carl Amon. The artwork has been done by Delvine Cockatoo Collins. Interestingly, Shay Cockatoo Collins presented him with his first ever jumper. Of course, a former Port Adelaide footballer. The jumper shares the stories through the artwork of the Osprey, which is the Seahawk. So that's depicted on the Hawthorn jumper. Behind it is all about North Stradbroke Island, the waterways, the sandhills and the fishing nets. The colours are picked from the ochre, which are the rocks from the North Stradbroke Island. So that's the thinking behind it. The hawthorn jumper, which looks spectacular with the white shorts.
And Melbourne's is a celebration of Nyiripi, which is a small town in the NT, 440 kilometres north of the Alice Springs. Tells the story of the fire dreaming. So that is the story depicted on the Melbourne jumper. Very reminiscent of their usual jumper with the red chevron up top, and then a lighter picture of the fire dreaming below, a lighter blue than usual. They do have their dark navy shorts on, which isn't a perfect match.
No sort of fashion police at all, Rammer, but it's like they've forgotten their shorts, isn't it?
Yeah, no doubt.
The jumper's great, but the colour of the jumper's great. Doesn't quite match with the navy shorts with the royal blue jumper.
Yep.
Are you sitting in Pickett Pocket or what? A Wizard Bay?
I'm with the Wizard today. I'm with the Hawks.
I'm with the Demons.
Pickett Pocket for me. What about for you?
Yep, Pickett Pocket for me as well. Let's get ready to go. They're both at the centre bounce, Watson and Pickett. And Max Gawn grabs the ball out of the ruck to start. Gets a hand pass forward towards Chandler. His handball picked off by Amon. Hawks go back the other way. Kick out towards Ginnivan, who marks in front of Dowie. In game 100 for Jack, who's got it on the wing. Dishes a handball back to Impey. Whacks him with Guinea. And Guinea gets it a second time. Turns and kicks down to half forward. Leaping up and an intercept mark for Lever, who's got it at half-back for the D's. No late change coming in. And just repeating the earlier result, a big win for Adelaide by 68 points over the Roos.
Lever moves it on to Langdon, kicks to the pocket, mopped up there by Howes, gets a handball away, under the pump now, Sharp, tackled into the ground. His head bounces off it as well. Caught holding the ball. Hawthorn ball, it'll go to Hardwick. So just too far out to score. He stabs it inside 50 and Lewis leads up and marks. 40 metres out, 45-degree angle left half forward.
It's got about 16 metres, but good opportunity for Mitch Lewis here to hit the scoreboard early and tonight, Rammer. This is his time, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's been building nicely, I think. Great to see him stack some games of footy. And this is his chance. As you said, no Chol, no Gunston. It's his forward 50 tonight. He's got a big job, A, to hit the scoreboard, and B, to keep Harrison Petty and Jake Lever busy.
Contract year for Mitch Lewis. 27 years of age. His drop punt here is pretty good into the woodwork. Look good for a lot of the way, just a little narrow. So the first scorer might have won the way of the Hawks, one behind. We've played 97 seconds. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
We've got our answer from Sam Mitchell, Rammer. Finn McGuinness straight to Cozzy Pickett. And you wouldn't think he'll stray too far from him today.
Bowie with the kick-out duty, second game back. Nice to see him back out there. Takes a little bit of ground, goes long to half-back, and a free kick for Jefferson to get it on the back flank for the D's. 2 minutes in, one behind for the Hawks. And 4 changes at selection, only one of them optional, the other 3 forced. Long kick down the wing. Gawn and Fritsch both in the pack, no marks. Bills down to Impey. He's bowled over and into his back goes Laurie. Free kick for the Hawks and for Impey.
Colstrip's got the match-up on Watson, as expected, at the other end. Pretty good match-up for him, I think. Got the size and strength and speed and ability to concentrate. He's done some good roles this year.
Impey down to half forward. Gawn knocks it away. Back towards Howes, who's rolled over in the tackle there from Kel Shadir, and we'll have a ball up between wing and half forward for the Hawks.
Hawthorn by a point. Up it goes. Reeves slapping it towards the outside. Steele out after it. Traps the footy. Wins it for the D's. Off to Sparrow. Forward handball to Latrell Pickett. Off to Langford. Left foot kick up to half forward for the D's. Sicily in front of Fritsch. And he just paddles it out. Throwing 60 around from the attacking goal for the D's. At the punt road end of the ground, Hawks by a point.
Interesting matchup, that one. Sicily and Fritsch. Sicily likes to give a little bit of length to his opponent. We know how dangerous Fritsch is on the lead, particularly if he's playing deepest. Saturday
footy on ABC Sport. Gawn palms it down. Sparrow knocks it on. More intervention. Another whistle. Out of zone umpire. Free kick going Melbourne's way. And Sparrow's going to get it. A busy start. Sparrow kicks to full forward. Big leap and Petty coming from 3 deep. Takes the mark at full forward for the Demons.
Well, I mentioned Petty before, thinking behind the ball, Rammer, but he's actually gone forward. And with Howes coming back into the team, Turner coming back into the team, it's allowed Petty to go forward. I still don't think we're 100% clear where he plays his best footy, but when he can get up and clunk them like that, It's a good start. Josh Weddle's gone back to fill the gap that Tom Barras has left. Good start from Petty here.
Has not kicked a goal all season. Harrison Petty, he has now. He knocks through the first of the game. It's taken 4 minutes. And the team under the moniker of Naarm, of course the First Nations name for the city in which we reside here in Melbourne. And they've got the first goal of the game. One straight over Hawthorn, one behind. The D's by 5 points. This is Saturday Footy on ABC Sport.
And it should give him some confidence there. Big contested mark early in this game. So terrific the way there he's able to jump at the ball. You know, one grab. Obviously missed a couple of weeks there of that. Well, we're still not sort of too sure what it was. I think a bit of vertigo it may have been in the end for Harrison Petty. But playing him forward, you want him to jump at the ball. Weddle's an interesting matchup because how far he can drag Josh Weddle back towards Melbourne's goals becomes really important. Weddle, he will run and gun if he gets the opportunity.
Thoughts of Adam Ramanauskas. Reeves tapping it down in the middle for Hawthorn. Pickett coming through. Free kick. Going the way of the Hawks. Newcomb wants to take it quickly to Watson, and the umpire will make them bring it back. So free kick to Newcomb, middle of the MCG. Newcomb stabs it short. Morrison takes the mark. He's the godson of the late Ken Judge, who coached Hawthorn in that merger game in 1996. Sets it up to full forward back there. The mark taken by Turner at fullback for the D's. They lead by 5 points and will repel from fullback.
Turner looks out for Petty. He's led all the way up the wing and takes the mark now at half-back. Keeps it moving by hand. Away to Howes. Howes lifts a handball to Chandler, and Chandler's going to retreat back with the kick to Petty. Half-back for the Demons. It's a 5-point lead for the D's. Half a dozen minutes in, all the way back to Turner, and the switch is on. Tolstrup, and he's got Bowie free out on the northern wing. So Bowie waits for it, takes the mark. Looks back inboard, finds Lever. Handball away back to Tolstrup. Kicks up to halfway for Steele. Things open up for the Demons through the corridor. Steele inside 50. Gord somehow got there. Oh. A shove to Sicily. Oh. And the opposing skipper ain't happy, but Max Gawn's got it. 30 out straight in front.
Enough force. We're going to have to...
Well, extended arms should be an indication to the umpire.
Just a bit of a push for me, didn't it? Chamber, we might get you to recount the letter of the law here. It just looked like clear hands in the back. Maybe,
Chamber?
Sicily certainly made the umpire.
Gawn's allowed to protect the space. What he can't do is create the space in that situation there. So it's a pushing action. Free kick for the push in the back.
Yep.
Gawn to finish off the work.
Yeah, he felt a bit guilty.
What do they say, Corb?
Ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie.
1-1 to 1 behind. Footy gods take care of that. It's Naarm by 6 points. We're 7 minutes in. This is Saturday Footy on ABC Sport. Corbin Middlemass, Ben Cameron, Adam Ramanauskas, Luke Ball and Ray Chamberlain.
It's a good sign, though, a clear sign of what he's going to try and do, isn't he, Max Gawn? He knows he's got some serious competition in terms of height and strength today, so push forward, test them behind the footy.
Hawthorn quickly down the worn wing. Bouncing ball. Bowie arrives. Picks it up for Melbourne. Handball to Langdon. He turns it over. Back into the mark and the Hawks away with it. Ramsden rushes a kick up towards half forward. Taken down there. McKenzie gets rid of it. Away towards D'Ambrosio. Hawks centre half forward.
He's played a throw.
So the free kick going to the D's on their back flank and Lever to take it. Melbourne lead by 6 points. 7.5 minutes into the first term.
Teaser away too on the wing, picked up by Laurie. Long kick forward, leaping for it. Petty, 3 attempts, no mark. Follows up as it hits the deck, and Petty snaps it through for his second. He's the game's only goal scorer. We're 8 minutes in. It's Petty who's got both of Melbourne's goals. The D's 2-1. They lead Hawthorn 1 behind. 8 minutes in. This is Saturday Footy on ABC Sport. It could not have started much better for the D's.
Well, that's right. It would have been his third mark in this quarter, so very active to start this game. Harrison Petty's had the 4 possessions and the 2 goals now, but looks lively. It looks like he wants to jump at the ball. Looks like he wants to compete at the moment. So his direct opponent, as mentioned, was Josh Weddle. Now, Weddle's just simply too far away. He's trying to get up and create that offensive run. But there, in that occasion, Petty he just jumped at the contest by himself.
Yeah, well, it is, isn't it? Interesting. Josh Weddle been a bit out of sorts, hasn't he? A bit unsettled in terms of where he's playing. Sometimes you've just got to play as a key defender, Josh. Don't worry about getting off and getting the footy, especially early when your opponent's seeing them well, locking down.
50th goal in AFL footy for Harry Petty as out of the middle go the Hawks and Impey. Long kick inside 50 for the mark taken by Turner, and he'll get a 50 as well. Nick Watson just bundles him over. Little needlessly.
That's there, Petty. That's a 50-metre penalty.
So Turner marched up towards the wing. Likes the look of the switch for the returning Rivers. Marks on the logo for Melbourne. Pokes it out in front here of Lever. Between wing and half forward here, the D's. Hit the opening 2 goals of the game. Lead by 2 goals neat. Lever shanks his kick. It works out. Sparrow gathers. Likes the look of the goals and tugs it. Misses to the left-hand side. It is all Melbourne at the moment. 2-2-14 plays 1 behind. 9.5 played. Opening term.
Haven't been a first quarter team this year either. The D's leading at quarter time on only 3 occasions as Impey spots up Ramsden, who marks back edge of the centre square. Little 1-2 hand pass there with Huswaite. Ramsden retreats again by hand to Ward, who kicks out wide and finds Ginnivan. Gives him an option against the boundary line southern side. 10 minutes in, 13-point lead for the D's. And Hawthorn on the switch. Hardwick to McKenzie at centre half back. Short kick to Weddle. In the earlier game, it was 68 points at full time. Adelaide doing a job on North. It was all over at half time or well before then. Weddle gives it to McKenzie, kicks out to the wing. Impey's hand pass and turnover. Here go the D's on the counter-attack. Fritsch to Langford, handball away to Chandler. Kicks down to Latrell. He's got Cozzy over the top. Latrell can't take the mark. Goes back to Lex, trying to burn off Weddle. Weddle got him.
Yeah, good lesson there from Latrell. Take the mark two-handed. Then Weddle's, he's quick. He's as quick as any player in the competition. Pickett thought he could take him on. No good there. Good lesson for the young man.
Weddle taking a free kick for the Hawks. Waits it for McKenzie on the wing. He can turn and go. Takes off. Forward handball away to Connor McDonald. Game 100 for him. Kicks inside 50. Getting back. Punched away by Tolstrup. Halshadir tries to keep it in. Too late. Throwing 45 around from the attacking goal here for the Hawks.
Just on that Crows North game, by the way, on the final siren, there was a knee concern for Luke Davies-Uniacke. So it was holding his knee right on the final siren. It would be just an awful end of the day if they're going to miss him for a chunk of footy. So we'll hope to bring you an update before the end of our game here at the G. We've got a call in with the Roos, but hopefully updates to come on the knee of Davies-Uniacke.
Reeves hooks it to the back, onto it D'Ambrosio. Kicks the Hawks to full forward. Down there Turner and Lewis. They fight a draw and the ball tumbles out deep in the left forward pocket for Hawthorn. Melbourne by 13 points, nearly 12 played opening term.
13-point advantage here for the D's. A dozen minutes in. Forward 50 stoppage for the Hawks. City end of the ground. Punched away by Gawn. Out to half-back. Cross trying to turn Ward inside out. They both wrestle for the footy. Ward goes in, gets it. Cross tackles him. Pack forms around the pair. The umpire says, I'll have it. Ball up. Floodlights on. It's been a glorious day in Melbourne. Got to 23 degrees. It's not expected to drop below 19 during the playing time. And some rain to come, but hopefully a little later this evening for young man Ray Chamberlain on the boundary and all of us getting home. Repeat stoppages here, same spot. Half forward for the Hawks, 55 metres out from their goal.
Gawn slaps it on up towards Sharp on the wing here for Melbourne. Gives it off to the run of Rivers. He'll take a bounce, tight roping the boundary line. Loops the handball to Latrell Pickett, who bursts away with it, kicks inside 50. Can't find Fritsch, ball gets out the back. Battle the first responder there for the Hawks. Out to Hardwick, to Sicily. Short kick, not the 15. McDonald comes away with it, kicks out wide for Weddle. And now the Hawks away down the Ward wing.
And the logo trying to link up with Ward. Rides a bump from Lever. Still tracks the footy. Ward goes and gets it. Kicks it inside 50 for the Hawks. Superb. And hitting up in the lead, Mitch Lewis marks. Left half forward. And he'll kick from right on 50, but Ward never lost track of the footy.
Good transition footy, wasn't it? Great example of those Hawks high half forwards, getting up high, supporting their defence. Connor McDonald involved, getting the release, and then really was a 50-50 ball on the wing. And a nice kick. And when you see him like that, Mitch Lewis, full-chested, leading at the footy, that's when he's at his best.
When he kicked one against the Dockers last Thursday night. Low trajectory, drop punt here is good. Kicks Hawthorn's first of the afternoon. Just settles things down a little for the Hawks. And Armed Demons, 2-2-14. They lead Hawthorn 1-1-7 with 14 minutes in. And this is Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Well, it was terrific by Josh Ward. Now there was a 50-50 ball. He put his body on the line. He didn't go to ground. Then was able to retrieve, and then beautiful little spot-up kick to Mitch Lewis. He's deceptively quick, Mitch Lewis, so you see he's very much a elite at the football player. Not in a dissimilar vein to Jack Gunston. He's not a real pack mark player, so whoever's playing on him today needs to be aware of that. Just play probably front shoulder rather than back shoulder against Mitch Lewis.
Yeah. Lower the eyes, isn't it? Lower the eyes today. Yeah. We've already seen Turner take two intercept marks. Lever will do that too.
I was having a debate with someone around Mitch Lewis recently as Lloyd Meek wins the hit out away to Newcomb, who gives it off to Cam McKenzie. Hurried kick up to half forward. Lewis attacks it, ricochets off his shins. Hawthorn ball centre half forward. Meek to Lewis. Kicks into the pocket. Ramsden tracking it. Jath against his former team. He's right there with him. Out of play it goes, and a throw in 40 around from the Hawks goal. So 5 under at PK's home golf course he shot.
North or south?
I don't know which one, but 800 AFL players in the competition loosely. Could 800 people in Australia shoot 5 under?
I wouldn't know the answer, Ben.
No, I'd say no.
Yeah. Well, I think I'd be a no as well.
Yep.
Quite incredible, really.
So he's saying he's best 800 in 2 different disciplines.
Well, I think he is, yeah.
Probably better than that. And where he sits in the order of merit in this competition, he'd be a pretty attractive prospect, I'm sure, for a number of clubs at the end of the season if you can't get a deal done with the Hawks. And the boundary throw, we got a ball up and now a secondary one. Van Rooyen knocks it down. Watson, though, for the Hawks. Got it away to McKenzie. Now to Amon. He gives it to Newcomb. Short kick. Just got to Deere, who takes the mark. Out in front of the backpedaling Cross, who tried to knock it from his grasp. Deere with a slips catch.
It was a
beautiful
in the
kick.
gully, wasn't it? It was a real Mark War second slip because it was an absolute bullet, wasn't it? Half a metre off the ground from Jai Newcomb.
Well, Jake Lever didn't want to go. He thought Newcomb was going to go long and deep, so he just stopped on the lead to drop off. But terrific kick by Jai Newcomb.
Short haircut, Kelsher, I like it.
Business.
Yeah.
Didn't play against the Dockers, back from that adductor injury. And his dad's old number. He misses out to the right and behind. Touchy moment that was. Dylan Moore giving up his number to make sure Kelsher could wear the number of his late father, Paul Deere. So that's why you see Kelsher in number 13 this year and Dylan Moore to number 8.
Rivers running off half-back from Melbourne. Spots up Langford on the wing. High kick up to half forward. The pack forms up they go. Jefferson, strong hands, comes down with the mark. He'll give it to Langford running by. Centre and kick towards the hot spot. Petty's down there. Run and jump very nearly. And a free kick going the other way anyway. Hawthorn ball at fullback. Hardwick kicks to the pocket. D'Ambrosio shorts it to left half back. And the mark taken by Moore in that new number 8.
Moore gives a handball away towards D'Ambrosio, who kicks out long left footed down the southern wing. Punched away by Lever, straight into the path of Newcomb. Keeps it moving forward. Long kick to Deere, and he beats Jaff in the one-on-one against his former teammate. And with all due respect to Chankwath Jatt, there is not much anyone could do about that coming in the way that it was.
Well, that's the worry right now for Melbourne, just the transition. Now, you allow Hawthorn to use their foot skills. They're one of the better teams in the competition at that. But that's basically going from deep inside Melbourne's 50 to deep inside your own 50 within 3 or 4 kicks.
A spoil from Jakey Lever. It's almost a special skill of his, and that was a bad 20-metre spoil back into the corridor.
Missed moments ago. He does again here. Out to the right.
Well, keeping on the golf theme.
Yeah.
It's a couple of shanks, isn't it?
Two gettable ones. 2-2 to 1-3. 18 minutes in. D's by 5.
It's my usual one off the tee, Benny, that one.
Yep. And my miss is left. Normally, Bally. Normally a big hook left is how he kicks it to Mitch Lewis. Takes the mark just forward of the wing here for Hawthorn. Pokes it short for McKenzie.
Let's play on.
Went about 10 metres, didn't it?
If that.
So McKenzie too far out to score, so he sets it up towards the hot spot. Pack forms off the hands of the pack. Jath gathers the footy off to Turner. Turner kicks towards the back flank. Bouncing ball. Chandler tracking it. Gets some support. Amon beats him to it. In the jumper he designed. Spits it out. McDonald close to the boundary line. Snaps back to a central position. Turner Does well to juggle it. Marks back pocket for the D's. Melbourne still by 5, approaching time on first term.
68-point margin earlier. Adelaide big winners over the Kangaroos. And concern for the knee of Luke Davies-Uniacke. Updates to come throughout the afternoon as the D's looking to try and clear out of defence. There's a free kick here as Cross gives away a free for an illegal shepherd on Hardwick in the marking contest. 5-point lead for the D's.
Yeah, we're just holding up here. Hawks had the last 4 inside 50s.
Make it 5 as he kicks into the pocket here. Lewis leaping at it. No mark. Ball hits the deck. Howe's handball picked off. Ramsden got it to Guinea. He's mowed down. Good chase down tackle in all of that. Affects the kick. And it's Bowie who lays the tackle. Gets up a little sore.
Let's go hold the ball against Melbourne now.
Right. Yeah. So Langdon's been caught with it by Moore, and the umpire's going to pay that one as Bowie tries to pick himself up. And as all this is going on, there's going to be a 50. Well, Hawthorn are going to take the lead, and Moore pumps it up into the second deck. And it's all rolling Hawthorn's way at the moment. Hawks by 1, lead change number 2. Hawthorn 2-3, the D's 2-2 as we tick into time on in the opening term. This is Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Ray Chamberlain, there was a whole lot going on there.
Yeah, indeed there was, and the Melbourne fans aren't happy with the first holding the ball decision. It's a perfect decision. There's no prior opportunity. Player goes immediately into the act of attempting to kick, so that's play on.
So the Ginnivan one, all good?
The Ginnivan one's not a problem at all. They're just showing it on the replay now. He doesn't do anything other than go into the act of kicking. No prior opportunity, play on. The Langdon one, I don't know whether they've paid holding the ball or an insufficient intent free kick. I'm not in the best viewing position here.
Jump in, Ray.
No, that's never holding the ball. And then the other one there, he's got an arm free and he's just placed the ball on the ground. So when you've got to make a genuine attempt to kick, you can't just put it on the ground.
Heath wins the tap down. Huswaite there for the Hawks. Feeds a handball forward, right up to half forward. Langdon back there for the D's. Wins the footy. Handball out to Howes. Now Sharp. They're under pressure here, Melbourne. Hawthorn certainly swarming. Close to the boundary line still. And still we are. Eventually it's out. Throw-in coming. Ray Chamberlain again.
Yeah, the whole prior opportunity thing, it causes a fair bit of confusion for a lot of people and just a lot of passion, but without it, we have players doing a Mexican standoff and not going for the ball. You want to promote winning the footy.
Which we actually saw last night with Isaac Quaynor close to the boundary line. Didn't want to inadvertently soccer it out. Ball back live here on the wing. Huswaite standing up in a tackle. Now Sharp goes in. Melbourne ball. Back feeds a handball to Steele to Cozzy Pickett. Kicks around the boundary line. Bouncing ball, and Sicily pretty happy to tap it out. Throwing between wing and half forward. Hawthorn by a point.
That was Cozzy's first touch of the game. What are we, 22 minutes into this first quarter?
And Ray talks about the passion. There's nothing like the holding the ball room to get fans engaged. And every tackle after that, they're appealing for a holding the ball. It's not forthcoming, and Melbourne fans are a bit dirty at the moment from the boundary throw-in. Spills down to Rivers. Hand pass over his shoulder to Latrell Pickett. Tackled by Impey. Now the Hawks fans are joining in, Ray, with the big ball call.
No, they're all into it. And I tell you what, I don't think it's going to ease up.
No.
Ray, just quickly, you're a big proponent that the prior opportunity rule is the best in our game, aren't you?
Absolutely the best rule in the game. You've got to encourage the players to win the football.
Free kick for Gawn. He goes long to the top of the goal square. Offhand, spills down to Van Rooyen. Bounces one through. And the D's answer back. Lead swings again. Lead change number 3. The D's 3-2-20. Hawthorn 2-3-15. A 5-point lead for the Demons. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Crowd engaged here at the G. Luke Ball, Adam Ramanatsis.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? Yeah, it is. It's a hot contest. Good, big crowd. Involved both ways, as you'd expect. And, well, it was just something out of nothing, wasn't it? The deep entry. They've looked dangerous, Melbourne, when they've got the ball in long and deep. Both in the air with Petty a few times. And
without Barras,
that's the key, isn't it?
They're going to find it tough to defend on the goal line, Hawthorn.
Absolutely. And that's where, Weddle's the one, isn't he? We know how he loves to attack and get off and run forward. Sometimes you've just got to get up and kill the ball. So that's his challenge today. And that time, Van Rooyen is having a good year, isn't he? Was able to make something out of nothing on the ground.
Averaging 2.5 goals a game in his last 4, which he's never done before. Secondary ball up, coming in the middle.
Yeah, 17. That is his 18th for the year, so really good return.
Reeves and Gawn again. Gawn with a hand on it. Sharp into the muck. Coming through Steele, wrapped up, and he's got nowhere to go. Umpire Hosking, the 300 gamer, will ball it up again. Beautifully down by Reeves, away to Watson, snaps the Hawks inside 50, bouncing ball right on the arc, arriving McDonald, works his way through trouble, runs a little arc, kicks inside 50, McGuinness can't trap it cleanly, then he turns tackler on Lever. And the umpire crosses himself to ball it up just inside 50 for the Hawks, Melbourne by 5, 24 played, free kick to Melbourne in fact. It'll go the way of Lever for a high tackle.
You mentioned Cozzy Pickett, Rammer. That was Nick Watson's first disposal as well. Yeah. So the two men on the poster that we came to see, Corp, slow out of the blocks.
Long kick down the wing, spills to that man, Cozzy Pickett. Handball away to Laurie, or gets it back and decides just to whack it forward.
Oh, now, what's that?
And it's just it's knocked on, so it's a boundary throw-in.
It's frustrating because we spoke about it on AFL Saturday.
Yeah, well, it's last disposal out of bounds. It's not last touch.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. That's a free kick to Hawthorn.
Tried to just palm it onto his cousin's advantage. Latrell, ball trickles out of bounds. Throw in high half forward for the D's. Spills down to Huswaite. Handball away to Amon. He switches from one back flank to the other, and D'Ambrosio marks left half back. D's by 5 points. We've had 3 league changes already. Short kick down that southern wing, and Sicily marks for Hawthorn.
Sicily comes infield to Huswaite. One of the inclusions this week, the man they call the pencil. Kicks across the defensive edge of the square. Paddle goes for a little run, drives it long as he so often does. Newcombe in good position. Lever closes late, spoils it away. It works out for Langford. Melbourne ball on the wing. Handball to Latrell, who gives it up to Sparrow. Just stops for a moment. Now elects to go long. Has a man on Jefferson. Up he goes. Might have received some front-on contact. He did.
I think this kid is growing by the week.
Well, he got caught napping a little bit on the release defensive 50 from the Hawks, didn't he? But he chased down Sicily, held up the mark, and then I watched him. He put his head down, and that's a 150-metre sprint. And well done to Tom Sparrow too. He looked up. There were Hawthorn players back. He had to wait. He was patient. But it was really work rate from Jefferson to give him the option, and rewarded.
Yeah, first pick in 2022, pick 15, so it's been a bit of a wait. Jefferson from right on 50 misses left. Melbourne lead by 1 straight kick. 6 points their advantage. 2.5 minutes of game time away from quarter time.
Amon has on a little bit of a stroll, runs to the back pocket, and then the long contest kick to the wing. Gawn's in the pack, and Gawn comes up with it. How often do we see that? Picks it off up on the wings, and now chance for the D's to launch. He goes back to Bowie. Bowie laterally to Howes. Marks in the middle of the G. Long kick forward. Cozzy's in the pack. Hands on it in all of that for McGuinness, and a free kick for a shove. And Finn McGuinness is going to get it in the back pocket.
He's dominating the airways at the moment, Melbourne. 6 contested marks to zip. As we said, no Gunston, no Child, no Barras. Well, there's one.
Deer takes a contested mark right in front of the Hawthorn bench, but as Bawley said, few and far between.
Has it stolen from him as he's called to play on. Lever takes it. Laurie chips into the pocket, not his best kick. Impey comes to break it up. Jefferson brings it down. Robes buffeted off his kick. Slews off the side of his boot. Away to Battle, back pocket for the Hawks. And Battle pokes it very short for Weddle. Weddle kicks infield right into the corridor. Amon takes it. He'll move up the middle again, and it all opens up for Jarman, Impey and Hawthorn.
Looks for Deer, who gets some separation from Lever and takes the mark running back towards goal. He's still 50 metres out, dabs it inside 50, and Watson takes the mark.
He's too athletic for Jake Lever, Kelsha Deer.
Yeah. Oh, how's the kick from Carl Amon, though?
Beautiful kick, but Lever's just not there. Like, I know Lever's more of an intercept, drop-off type player, but he can't keep up with the athleticism of Deer.
Just news through, by the way, from the North Melbourne Football Club. The doctor's happy with how Davies Uniacke presented. I think that he's okay, so that's the word from the club. And it's great news after that knee injury on the final siren. Here's Nick Watson to get the Wizard Bay up and about. The hats have been thrown into the air, and Nick Watson, with an early win in his duel with Cozzy Pickett, ties the game. 29 minutes into the opening term, 3-3-21 apiece. And Nick Watson, goals late in this opening quarter, Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
He already had a bit to say, didn't he, to Tholstrup, and a little pat on the backside. You know, in fairness to young Tholstrup there. That's a pretty ordinary position to be in, isn't it? When the ball's coming down at such speed through the corridor. And it's the first time really Watson's been able to isolate inside 50 and just some nice forward craft to be able to duck back into space.
As a defender, it's just a good luck moment. Like you need the kick to be poor or over the head or along the ground for you to be any chance.
It's two great kicks, wasn't it? Aim on and then Impey straight through the corridor goal.
Did he say to Tholstrup? It looked quite polite. I doubt it was. Get a secondary ball up in the middle. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Scores level late in the first term. Gawn brings it down for Sparrow. High up and under towards half forward. The pack will form. Jefferson, lots of it,
dangerous.
doesn't quite bring it down. Sicily ends up with it. It goes 1 metre, taken back by Melbourne. Through Chandler, to Howes, to Bowie. Long kick to full forward. Fritsch arriving late. Doesn't quite claim the mark. Impey sockers it away. Hawthorn just hold up for the moment. Ginnivan tackled out by Chankwath Jaff. And the two close mates go at it. They're very good friends, that pair, and they had a little bit to say to each other as well. Throw in right at the elbow of the boundary line and 50. Scores level. They're very close to quarter time.
Boundary throw-in. Reeves knocks it down, picked up by McGuinness, clearing kick out of defence, and that'll do us through one. And we're back where we started. Scores level, 3-3-21 apiece. And Max Gawn with an extended chat to one of the field umpires in all of that too, pointing to his throat and then holding up the number 3, essentially saying, no, that's the third time that's happened. No free kick. And the boundary throw-in, and he's immediately bumping and banging bodies with Max Ramsden. It's quarter time here at the G. 21 points apiece. Harrison Petty's got 2. He kicked the first of the game and he kicked the second of the game for what it's worth. 1 for Van Rooyen. Meanwhile for Hawthorn, who naturally have kicked 3 of the last 4. Lewis, Watson and Moore, the goal kickers for Hawthorn. In the earlier game, it was a 68-point win for Adelaide, and Piers Luke Davies-Uniacke has dodged serious damage to his knee after that incident on the final siren. So good news, he's been cleared by the Docs. They're confident he's okay. Coming up, it is Carlton and the Western Bulldogs. You'll hear that later tonight, the third of the 3 games on our Saturday slate in round 10. Off the SMS, Rich from Ocean Grove, loving the call, have a question for Ray. Only a handful of AFL players wear the old-fashioned long socks these days, but all the umpires do. Is this a rule, or are the umpires just keen to wear it in that fashion? I might come back to Ray on that. I think he's signing autographs down there, Razor, in the front row of the grandstand. We'll check in with Ray. This is outrageous. He's signing Melbourne and Hawthorn jumpers. You there, Ray?
In the black tank top too.
People what they want. Give me 30 seconds. Paul.
Unbelievable.
I'm busy.
Unbelievable. I'll come back to you. Dave in Lonnie says 60,000 for such an important game on a Saturday afternoon. That's why they should have been amalgamated. They're fighting words, David. Of course, 30 years on from the merger game. Thoughts of Bawley and Rammer, and we'll see if we can raise Ray in just a moment. This is Saturday Footy on ABC Sport.
Get your documentary fix on ABC iView.
We have an industry that's just running riot.
Like Sean McAuliffe's Going for Broke.
Last spin, come on.
Todd Sampson's Why.
The best things in life are on the other side of fear.
And more. Streaming now on ABC iView.
On ABC Local Radio, Sport Digital, and on ABC Listen. This is Sir Doug Nichols Round with ABC Sport.
These are away too on the wing, picked up by Laurie. Long kick forward, leaping for it, Petty. 3 attempts, no mark, follows up as it hits the deck, and Petty snaps it through for his second. He's the game's only goal scorer. The logo trying to link up with Ward, rides a bump from Lever, still tracks the footy. Ward goes and gets it, kicks it inside 50 for the Hawks, superb. And hitting up in the lead, Mitch Lewis marks, left half forward. Low trajectory, drop punt here is good. Kicks Hawthorn's first of the afternoon. So Langdon's been caught with it by Moore, and the umpire's going to pay that one as Bowie tries to pick himself up. And as all this is going on, there's going to be a 50. Well, Hawthorn are going to take the lead, and Moore pumps it up into the second deck. And it's all rolling Hawthorn's way at the moment. Free kick for Gawn. He goes long to the top of the goal score. And spills down to Van Rooyen. Bounces one through. And the D's answer back. Lead swings again. Lead change number 3. Deere, who gets some separation from Lever and takes the mark running back towards goal. He's still 50 metres out, dabs it inside 50, and Watson takes the mark to get the Wizard Bay up and about. The hats have been thrown into the air, and Nick Watson with an early win in his duel with Cozzy Pickett.
This is Sir Doug Nicholls Round on ABC Local Radio, Sport Digital, and on ABC Listen.
Sounds here from the opening term, 3-3 to 3-3. Scores level, 21 points apiece. Hawthorn and Melbourne at the MCG standalone Saturday twilight fixture as Sir Doug Nicholls Round rolls on. Luke Ball and Adam Ramanauskas on ABC.
A pretty entertaining first quarter, Rama, and as the scoreboard would suggest, and the stats back it up, pretty even. Both sides, you probably think Melbourne started the better, didn't they? Controlled field position a little bit more in that first 15 minutes and put that Hawthorn defence without Tom Barras under pressure. We mentioned how they're dominating the airwaves, and Harrison Petty was the one early who had the Josh Weddle matchup and looked to be a real problem, kicking 2 goals in that first 10 minutes of that quarter. And then the Hawks just started to get their game going in terms of their transition game across half-back. It's really evident when you sit here and watch those high half forwards in McDonald and Ginnivan, and Watson, who's been quiet, but how high they get up the ground and then really try and sieve you on the way back. But both midfields have been pretty well under control, in terms of impact on the game and numbers. Both the key possession winners on the ground are both in the back half for either team. Impey's got 7. Amon, who's having an impact on the game, has got 7. Bowie and Lever, 7 at the other end for the Demons. So pretty even contest at the moment, 12 inside 50s to 14. Hawthorn had that period probably late where they controlled field position, were able to get 4 or 5 repeat inside 50s, but not a lot of bang for buck. Where they're going to look most dangerous today, and we know, where Melbourne feel most comfortable is with that bomb ball in, where they can get off Lever and Turner took a couple of intercept marks as well, where they can get off and the ruckman getting back as well, get off and support each other in the air. When the ball comes in low and hard and with speed and angles, that's where they've looked most dangerous, the Hawks. So that will be the order of the day for them. But, again, first time we've seen them without Gunston and Chol for a little while. Lewis looked dangerous at times, hasn't he? But other times when they've bombed the ball, Melbourne's defenders have been able to control things pretty well. So 3-3 apiece, both sides having periods of dominance throughout the quarter, but no one really able to assert themselves on this game just yet. And as I said, the 2 main attractions, the 2 on the poster, haven't had an impact. I mean, Watson did get that goal towards the end of that quarter, but Pickett, no real impact. You'd have to say that's working, the McGuinness matchup. And Tholstrup largely, apart from that one where, you're cutting some slack there because not a heap of defender can do there, has done a pretty good job on Watson.
Well, I think to beat Hawthorn, you have to have a high tackle count. Melbourne only laid 10 tackles in that quarter. Their foot skills are just too good. So if you're not applying pressure to the ball carrier, they will cut you up. And we saw on a few occasions in that quarter, Hawthorn's foot skills were just simply too good for Melbourne.
So Watson starts in the centre bounce here. Interesting, Tholstrup doesn't go with him. So, and here he is.
Yeah, winning it down Reeves, straight to Watson. Second quarter underway, out to Newcomb. Kicks Hawthorn inside 50. Lever punches it away off his knuckles. Out of play for a throw-in, right forward pocket here for the Hawks.
And I tend to think that it's just let him off the hook, and now he goes to him. I think if he's going to get the job, you see McGuinness will go with Pickett anywhere.
Well,
centre bounce, back forward.
No, he hasn't been at centre bounce. He's been starting at half forward, McGuinness.
And picking him up on the way through. Yeah, okay. So maybe that's the order of the day, but here he is again.
Oh, Watson zipping onto the footy at ground level, gives it off to McKenzie, centering kick. Bowie punches it away, ball hits the deck again. Moore first to get there, half forward for the Hawks. Off to Ginnivan, back feeds a handball, high half forward. D'Ambrosio kick smothered by Sharp. Ricochets away to Bowie in Melbourne, drops it out of play. Throwing 45 around. Scores level, as it was at quarter time. We've played a minute.
Having a really good year, Sharp, isn't he? Been a really good pickup since he's come down from Brisbane, I think.
Yeah, got beautiful parents, Bally.
Yeah, he does. Ballarat boy. Keep forgetting the name of that establishment there on the lake down there in Ballarat. I'm going to look it up.
Boundary throw in. Pack forms at the feet of the ruckman. Up says keep going. Tholstrup got it out to Bowie. Handball away to Steele. Oh, handball for Jefferson. Little fumble. Steele goes back, gets it. Kicks down the wing. Petty the target. Weddle puts his fist through it. Impey at the drop. Handball to Battle. Handball back to Hardwick. Hawthorn with it. Hardwick spins boundary side. Decides to give a handball to Weddle. Just gathers. Back to Impey. Handball out to Hardwick. They work their way through the maze. Off the left. Kicks inside 50. Picked off. Matt's gone. Another intercept mark at halfback for the Demons. Scores level early in the second.
Just on Sharp, though, Bawley, on a serious note, one of 10 players to have kicked a goal in every game this year, so we'll see if that can continue today. He's
just a workhorse too. You know, he's got a big engine, really suited to today's footy. He's had a terrific year.
Lever in the back pocket, kicks up to the wing. Fritsch launching from 3 deep, doesn't take the mark. At ground level, Chandler picks it up, feeds a handball back to Langdon. D's on the back flank. Out to Turner, waits a kick for Van Rooyen. He takes the mark, scores level, neutral territory on the worn wing, ball with the D's.
Coming off the bag himself. Kick 5, got the top votes in the ABC Footballer of the Year against the Eagles. Shanker Van Rooyen goes short to Bowie. The man who wears number 17 won his first 17 games. He's all the way back to centre half back. Tolstrup, short kick to Jath, hands it back to Tolstrup. Off defensive side of halfway, kicks down to half forward off the box of Jack.
Double Falcon.
Hit him once and then bobbed up in the air, hit him a second time on the left.
Kicked it on the full.
And then puts it out. Maybe
That is a double Falcon.
maybe he's a bit shaken. The ball goes out of bounds on the full forward pocket. Free kick for the Hawks, back pocket. You rarely see that, don't you? Straight off the forehead and then up and off the top of the bonds.
Might need to come off for a concussion test of the second hit.
Impey with the free kick. Contest kick to the wing. Massive pack. Jath with a little bit of it. Newcomb, front and centre, wins it for Hawthorn. Off to D'Ambrosio, kicks around the wing. Watson sliding in, hits it again at pace at ground level. Lever halves it, then wins it. Melbourne ball, D'Ambrosio comes again. He can only knock it out there with Sparrow.
Ray Chamberlain on the boundary.
Yeah, love the quarter-time huddles and always have a look to see what's happening. Sam Mitchell spent considerable time with the back six, which include Weddle, Hardwick, Amon, Impey, Battle and Sicily. And whilst we respect Barras, I don't think it's a lack of cattle.
Throw in on the wing. Gawn taking it out of the ruck. Gives it off to Steele. Former Saint. Kicks up to half forward. Launching at it is Fritsch. Maybe clobbered Weddle. Anyway, Petty ends up with it. Off to Sharp. Kick smothered by Weddle. And Hawthorn back with the footy on their back flank.
Sicily, handball out to Hardwick. Handball over the top to D'Ambrosio. Good smother. The 1%er from Steele. And out of play it goes. Ray, just revisiting that question that we had at quarter time from Rich. Talking about the umpires having their socks up. Is that mandated that you have to have the socks up?
No, it's been historically that way. They've tried a few things this year. I saw in Darwin they had the shorter socks and the different colours, but no, up, shirt tucked in.
Gawn pumps it straight down to Cozzy Pickett. Whacks him beautifully. Kicks into the forward 50. Fritsch gets there on the bounce. Looks back inboard for Cozzy. Left it behind. And McKenzie goes and gets it back flank for the Hawks. A 1-2 with Battle. And then he kicks out to the opposite side of the ground. Finds Moore on the back flank.
He wants to play on quickly. Has Lewis on a searching lateral lead. Finds him, but he drops the mark. He'll get a free kick. Mitch Lewis too far out to score for the Hawks. Score still level. Lewis looks inside 50. Langdon tries to get across and chop it off. Works out for Jath. Back pocket here for the D's. Exiting kick for Lever. And Turner takes the mark and he just plays on. Without a little bit of a plan, but works it out towards Cross, who kicks infield for the D's.
To Sparrow, who marks, and then a long kick out to half forward. Finds Petty. Still 2 kicks from goal. Petty's going to wait for some numbers to rush forward. Still 21 each of 2. The quarter-time score, 5 minutes into the second. Long kick to the forward pocket. They come from all directions and it's punched out of bounds. Throw in forward pocket for Melbourne. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Earlier, the Crows by 68 points over North. Just repeating the news. Luke Davies-Uniacke cleared of any serious damage after being assessed by the Docs. Appeared to hurt his knee right on the final siren there. It was a dominant effort by the home team. They kicked 10 goals in the second quarter. From the boundary, throw in, neat one to hit out, and then coat hangers Cozzy. And Kazai Pickett's going to get a free left half forward for Melbourne.
Yeah, that was high. Yep, I
think that's universal. We're all on board there.
But he's on the move now, Cozzy, at stoppages. The last 2, he's been on the move. The tap from Gawn in front of us here on centre wing was perfect, but that's the way to get Finn McGuinness. Get him moving around contest.
The Pickett pockets at the other end of the ground, but they're on their feet now. One for the Wizard, one for Cozzy, as this duel continues at the G. The Nam Demons up by 6. Half a dozen minutes into the second term. 4-3 to 3-3. That the difference in the game. Luke Ball, Adam Ramanauskas on ABC Sport.
Yeah, good call, runner. That's where, certainly inside 50. No mid or defender, small defenders comfortable, are they? With a player like Pickett being on the move. And it was just smart that time, wasn't it? Probably a little bit too much space there for Finn McGuinness' sake.
Yeah.
Just need to have that arm across and, if possible, stay goal side that time. Just the big fella, the sloppy arm from the big ruckman. So you're right, just starting to get a little bit busy, and that's the beauty of him. He can have a quiet quarter, but can burst onto it in the space of 5 or 10 minutes.
Averaging more than a goal a game this year and more than 23 disposals, both of which are career highs. Out of the middle, he's onto the footy again. Worried out of it there by McDonald. Steele comes and picks it up. Handball to Rivers. Now Chandler attacking edge of the square. Goes inside 50. Van Rooyen nearly drops the mark. Petty gathers it. Tries to break a tackle. And snap. He's third. Harrison Petty in takeover mode. Melbourne by 12 points. The first 2 goals of the second term. 5-3 plays 3-3. 8 minutes into the second. Luke Ball and Adam Ramanaskas.
Harrison Petty playing like Warren Treadway out there at the moment. In the air, on the ground. He's just a physical presence. I don't think I've seen him like this. He's up and about, giving Josh Weddle a hell of a time. It's a beautiful kick from Chandler. He's having a good year as well.
He's got to stick that tackle, Josh Weddle.
Again. Yep, that's the difference between you get away with that on the wing, don't you, or in the forward line, but deep in defence, easy shrug, and that's a great finish as well with another player hanging off him. Centre bounce again the key, though, and Pickett just involved again a couple of times. D's on top.
Of course, he has that one bag of 6 back in 2023, which probably had him miscast for a long period of time as a forward. He's got 3 and counting today, early in the second. Back in the middle of the ground. Still no clean takeaway either team. D'Ambrosio goes and wins it. Handball forward to McGuinness. Did he try and take on Langdon? He lost. Up says no, he didn't. No prior. Taken by Ward. Kicks inside 50. Ramsden no mark. Spills the D's way. Lever. Handball to Rivers. Handball away to Laurie. And sweeps a Polyfarmer hand pass out to Howes. On the back flank. Kicks the D's up the wing. Back with the flight goes Morrison. Breaks it up. Collects for Hawthorn. Cross tackles him. Got it out to Huswaite. Handball away to McGuinness. And McGuinness away down the wing.
Handball on to McKenzie, who will kick inside 50 for a leading Watson. Look out. It was the meat in the sandwich. Out the back. Ramsden's going after it. Turner's right there with him. Ramsden keeps it in, and Turner swats it through. Saves the day. As the man they called Disco on the last line, Ray Chamberlain.
Jack Ginnivan preparing to come back onto the ground. Spent significant time with the physio. Looked like it was a left quad cork.
Yeah, Corky it was. Just in front of you earlier. It was a big hit. Can't remember who he ran into, but it was a big hit. Came off second best.
Melbourne by 11.
Langdon marks the kick out off the back flank. Goes down the wing, and McKenzie strong overhead takes the mark on the wing.
It's the lookalike.
Bodie Ryan.
He looks athletic, doesn't he? He's just scratching the surface. Looks a real talent.
Apologies to the Ryan family as he puts it inside the full of 50. There's a free kick in all of this, and it's going to go to Lewis. He'll get it left forward pocket.
Just didn't need to do it there, Ed Langdon. Lewis was never going to get to that contest. Just held on and held on. Lewis played it really well.
Little panic, not a heap in it. Lewis made sure the umpire saw it, but as soon as you reach out and grab when you're not in the contest, you open yourself up. Just didn't need to. You're right, Ram.
Lewis snapping. Has he got enough on it? No. And Ramsden, who's on the line, didn't have a lot of body on Lever, who was easily enough able to.
A little Mitch Lewis is a beautiful kick. Just kick and drop punts.
Go back and kick it straight. You're right.
Knocked it through on the line. Lever rush behind. D's by 10.
Bowie, long kick out to the wing, and strong mark overhead by Rivers, who's come back with the shorter hair, the shaved head. Gives it off by hand to Howes. Kicks up to half forward for the D's. Good mark, Jefferson. They stream inside 50. He looks deep for Fredge. One-on-one with Battle. The kick favoured the ladder, and he marks. Back pocket for the Hawks. Well, he might have just fumbled it out in the end. We're just getting a little check here and a throw in. Ray Chamberlain.
Yeah, whilst all that was going on, Paddy Cross left the field. He's gone down into the rooms. He's got a big gash across the beak of the top of his nose.
Boundary throw in. It's Max Heath locking up with Meek. Ball comes back underneath the pair. Eamon trying to clear the area. Hand pass out towards McDonald. His handball goes back to Ryan, who kicks hurriedly out of defence. Up towards Deere. Crashes through in the air. Ball spills to Ginnivan. Hand pass out to Morrison. Looks back to the outer corridor. Not a great kick. Steele thought about it. Trying to pass through. Left it behind. McDonald. Handball to McGuinness. His hand pass a turnover. Gee, errors by hand both teams. Chandler to Cozzy Pickett. Handball away to the Moose Heath. Kicks inside to forward 50. No mark. Ball spills down Hawthorn's way. Hardwick from centre half back. Gives it to Sicily. Handball to Weddle. Trying to run in a bit of space. Closed down. Links up by hand with Ward. 10-point lead for the D's. A dozen minutes into this second term. Ward with the long kick down to half forward. Deer hands on it. Ball comes back inboard. He's got House for company. Deer just sockers it back to centre half forward.
Loose ball inside 50 for Hawthorn. Watson attacking it. Bowie's there with him. Wins it for Melbourne. Sweeping handball from Telstra. Sharp clattered into. The Hawk is down in back plate. And Sharp just takes off with the footy. Goes for a run. Ryan is down and sore as Sharp goes bolting away with the footy. Kicks inside 50. Fritsch drops the mark. Gathers 48 out. Snaps to full forward. Petty. He can't mark it. Ball lands at the top of the goal square. Ward's under the pump. He's tackled over. Caught. Umpire says
benefit of
rush
down.
behind. That was all happening.
Oh, did you get a hand on that? Oh, gee, some big moments, wasn't there? Yeah. Just the Demons just winning the 50-50s at the moment. Great contest here. Bodie Ryan, who's up now. He was in the hands of the trainer, winded.
It could be an option here if Hawthorn can just gather this at half-back. Huswaite has a fumble. It costs him. The pack forms around him. We'll have a ball up half-forward for the D's. Bodie Ryan, by the way, made his debut obviously last week over in Perth. One of 3 debutants this year. Kicked a goal after the siren for Box Hill in that semi last year to send them through to the prelim. First time we really were alerted to his name in the AFL landscape. Hawks from the stoppage. Up to the wing. Ginnivan goes back to Ward. Ward kicks down the wing looking for Lewis. Missed him. Did it get a finger on the way through? Umpire says yes.
It's just Josh Ward does so much right. But I think the last 2 kicks is what's holding him back to going into that next stage or next level as a midfielder. Out on his own and the wing in front of us and just missed both targets easily.
Can you fix that at this stage of his career? It's not old.
Repetition.
Yep. 22 at the moment, so big summer at kick school as the D's work it down the wing. Forward handball out towards Sparrow, who turns tackler. Heavy tackle there on Ryan, who's been in the wars.
He has been in the wars, yeah.
The last few minutes.
Like him, no. Really has a crack
out there.
Fumble from Tom Sparrow.
Max Heath with the trainer, by the way, so he won't make this ruck contest.
Throw it up.
He looks a little dazed too as the 2 trainers are going to walk off the ground with him. Ray Chamberlain.
Is within sort of 75% of a kick.
Yeah.
The umpires, particularly when the game's stopped, they will hold it up and wait for the player to
regardless of the potential injury? Is that a new interpretation, Chamber? I'll come back to you in a sec.
So Meek and Rivers ruck together. Meek unsurprisingly won that. Umpire fell over. Ball spills down to Sparrow. Handball to Chandler. Skids a kick to half forward. Ends up somehow with Keziah Pickett. Gets his leg free. Shoots goalward. Brings it back but misses near side. She had this beautiful bend on the kick. Looked like he was going to work it all the way back in, not to be a minor score. In fact, scratch all of that. No score. It's coming all the way back to battle somehow. He's getting a free kick at halfback. The score in the game, by the way, is the Narm Demons are 11 points up over the Hawks halfway through the second quarter. It's a Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Cross cut down in the rooms. And now Max Heath with a head knock.
Sicily, long kick, and Meek. Body's gone. Takes the mark. Hawthorn ball. Ginnivan running laterally, kicks into the middle of the ground. Risky kick, might work out. Weddle has to go back and gather it. Now sweeps the handball forward to Amon. Usually a good kick. Kicks towards the pocket. Lewis hands on it. Turner breaks it up as he has done all afternoon.
Well done.
Melbourne in their back pocket away with it. Langdon to Jaff, bounding off halfback.
Against his old team for the first time, Chankorth Jaff gives a hand pass out wide for Laurie. Kicks down the wing, southern side, finds Fritsch. 11-point lead for the D's. D's down to 3 rotations at present, with 2 being looked at. Fritsch kicks to half forward, punched away by Guinea off the back flank. Into the path of Huswaite. Hawthorn back with it. What a handball from Newcomb, who just shoots it through to McDonald. Also in his 100th game. Comes out wide, Connor McDonald. To Hardwick, runs, carries, gives it to Ward, gets it back. Still with Hardwick up over halfway. Hardwick kicks for Lewis. One out in the cage with Lever. Lewis got separation.
Free kick.
Oh, no. Just over the shoulder and the umpire right on the spot.
That's there.
Yeah, it was there. Well done by Jakey Lever.
The D's feel a little hard done by. They get the free kick. Last line of defence here, short to Langdon.
He pokes it really short for Howes again. Melbourne by 11 points. Up the middle to Chandler. Kicks into the middle of the ground, turnover. Sicily for Hawthorn. Hawks back with it. Forward half game for them. Sicily goes inside 50 and Ramsden juggles the mark. Slipped through his fingers, turns around and plucks it. Nearly made a meal of it. 25 out, as good as directly in front.
Well, poor execution from Kyle Chandler. And just poor option, I think. Just have to read the state of the game. The ball's been flying up and down, hasn't it, for 5 or 6 minutes. Look at players there. Plenty of hands on hips and knees. Too risky a kick to turn the ball over in that part of the ground. And then the defenders were all at sea. Maxie Ramsden, has he had a possession yet? Hasn't had
one handball,
so a chance to influence the game here.
His left foot drop punt is nice. Brings the margin back inside a kick. 5 points, Melbourne's lead. 5-4-34 plays 4-5-29. 18 played second term. Luke Ball and Adam Ramanaskas.
He hasn't found a position in this team yet, Max Ramsden. So he's a player, I think, with obviously Meek and Reeves playing in the ruck. He has to play as the key forward, another key forward option. So he needs a work rate. He needs a work rate inside forward 50 if he wants to hold his spot while the other big boys, Gunston and Chol, are not in this team.
Ray Chamberlain on the boundary.
Yeah, Max Heath has just headed down into the rooms for an assessment for a head knock.
Thanks, Ray. Paddy Cross is back, so that's good news after having that gash on his nose. So
well, now's the time to work over Big Max too, isn't it, with the ruckman?
The D's get the break here, though. Rivers trickles a kick forward to the advantage of Sparrow, his premiership teammate. Long kick to fall forward. Van Rooyen's down there, knocked away from him by Weddle. Fritsch tries to keep it alive, but only as far as Hardwick. Handball away towards Ryan. Full back for the Hawks. Short kick finds Ward. Mark's been paid. Late pressure from Sharp, but Ward will get it back pocket for the Hawks. 5-point game. D's on top. He goes corridor Ward. Hawks off the back flank. Weddle. Marks gives it away by hand to Huswaite. Handball to McDonald. McDonald kicks out to the wing. Finds Dylan Moore. He's got a Paddock in front of him. Has a bounce. Closes to 70 out. Short kick to Lewis. And Marks right on the 50. He chips it further afield, and he's Guinea. Jack Ginnivan in game 100. Marks out of corridor.
So that's both Melbourne key defenders there in Lever and Daniel Turner. Just too far off their direct opponent. They're both looking to lay off rather than... We spoke about Mitch Lewis in the first quarter. He is a hitter up forward. That's how he plays. You've got to be with him.
Just look fatigued, Melbourne, the last 5 or so minutes. Body doing a lot of, as I said, a lot of hands on hips and knees.
The premiership pipe, a lifelong Hawthorn fan, Jack Ginnivan in his 100th game is offline. Not through for a minor score. So 4-point lead for the Demons as we tick into time on second term Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Bally said not even 20 minutes ago, we're not 100% sure where Harrison Petty plays his best footy. We call that foreshadowing from Rowan in Maryborough in Victoria.
Jath to Tolstrup, who's kick up towards the wing, nearly broken up by Ginnivan. Doing really well. Howes again, bringing it down and then kicking up towards Van Rooyen, who has to win it at ground level. Handball to Sharp. D's down the Ward wing. Handball away to Laurie. Left foot kick inside 50. Fritsch puts his hands into the back there of Sicily. And a free kick is paid. Happy with that one, Ray?
Every day of the week, not contesting the football, creating the space with a push. We need to see more of those paid.
Melbourne by 4 points. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. We'll play 21 in the second.
Short kick inside the defensive 50 finds Amon. Just repeating earlier too, Luke Davies-Uniacke cleared of any serious damage. Club says presented well and confident he'll be okay after his knee injury. Looked serious on the final siren. It was an ugly day for the Kangaroos. Crows, the home team, by 68. They kicked 10 goals straight at one point in the second term. Hawthorn with a bit of kick-to-kick in the back half here. 4-point advantage for the D's. 22 minutes gone second term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport, and the kick-to-kick continues as Ryan goes back to Amon, who's still got it in the defensive arc. Now out to Hardwick. Left half back. Short kick to Impey. Well set up downfield. Now the kick up over halfway. Finds D'Ambrosio in a bit of space. Marks. Kicks it inside 50. Max is there, but in front of him, his teammate Tolstrup picks it off. And there's a win for the D's. Defensive effort. And they defended the ground well, and they get the turnover.
Still by 4 points. Shorts his kick to Howes. Kicks into the corridor. Middle of the ground, and mark taken by Sparrow. Gives it back to Howes. Howes looks out wide towards the half-forward flank. Laurie's in space. Takes the mark. Moves it on to Sharp. He'll give it back to Laurie. Just beyond the attacking arc. Kicks to the pocket. Impey gets in the road. Punches it away. Van Rooyen keeps it in. Latrell Pickett, he doesn't keep it in.
Well done, Impey. That's terrific wing play, isn't it? Just getting back to support your defence. Looked like they had a mark inside 50 of their Demons. Just put his head down, worked and created the spoil.
3 lead changes in the opening term. It's currently the D's who lead by 4 after scores were level at quarter time. Ginnivan from the boundary throw-in gets a kick out of defence, and Moore bangs bodies with Jaff. Ball spills out of play. Still high half forward for the D's. Rob in Greensborough. Ray, socks up, because my under-10s coach said if you can't be a footballer, at least look like one. From Tom in Wheelers Hill, lads working in the garden. I think I might have ruined a few veggies with the aggressive thrust of garden fork in frustration of the Hawks' poor early quarter. And the boundary throwing. D's race away with it. Kick inside 50. No good from Sharp. Missed his intended target.
I had the separation there. Van Rooyen. That's got a hit. That's just a simple little 20-metre pass.
Sicily poking it away to Ginnivan. In his back pocket here, Ginnivan. Sends Hawthorn up to the wing with a long kick. Gawn and Reeves, and Gawn juggles it. Paid the mark by the umpire, right on the Go Foundation logo. Off to Cossie Pickett, cold turnover. And Cam McKenzie shoots away with it for Hawthorn. Handball to McGuinness, handball back into the mark. Impey's caught. Umpire Nick Foot circles and says, let me have it.
Well, he tried to shrug Kate Chandler.
Melbourne by 4, ball up in the middle of the ground.
It's a prior opportunity to me.
Reeves and Gawn in a tangle, free kick. Gawn's way. Dragged down by Reeves from the ball up. Flares it wide, finds Lever. Handball away to Chankwath Jaff. Takes a bounce. Lopes over halfway and then kicks inside the forward 50. Jefferson bursts straight through the hands. Sicily, handball to centre half back. Picked up here by McKenzie. Darts away with it. Runs, carries, and then gives a handball across the half back line to Guinea. 24 minutes gone, second term. Demons by 4 points. Kick out wide to Moore. Hand pass over the top to Weddle. Now the Hawks get some run going as he tries to burn off Latrell Pickett. Kicks back inboard. Got an option there in Sicily. He's kept on moving. Hand pass inside to Dylan Moore. Still 60 out at half forward. Hand pass back to Weddle. Another involvement in the chain of Josh Weddle. That is your goal. High fives in the front row. And the running prowess of Josh Weddle on full display. Returns Hawthorn to the front. The Hawks 5-6-36. Menam Demons 5-4-34. 25 gone in the second term. And that is a special bit of work from the Hawks number 23.
Good call, Corby.
Yeah. But that also demonstrates his running power. So he's gone from half back there. So the ball's gone out to Ginnivan just inside Melbourne's forward 50. The next one then goes, and Weddle's there. He's on the overlap right at half back. Takes a bounce, takes on Latrell Pickett. Beautiful kick inboard to Sicily. And then you think Dylan Moore's going to go inside forward 50. But Weddle just kept going. And then from just right on the paint of 50. A beautiful goal, and geez, he liked it too. He went straight to the crowd. The Hawthorn supporters were wrapped with that one.
Third lead change of the match as well. Hawthorn back in front. Ball hits the deck from the restart, and we'll do it again. Still inside the bullseye in the middle of the ground. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Slapping it down, Gawn. Newcomb caught, tackled, rolled in the tackle. Third time lucky, perhaps.
If you didn't even have the previous touch in the chain and just kick the goal on the run from 50 out against the boundary line, it's still an amazing goal, but what a bit of work.
Both rucks with hands on it. Newcomb caught holding the ball.
Yeah, I like that.
And the
ball, I think he was lucky the one prior. He had his hands free. That time the umpire said, well, you're good enough to get you rid of that giant. Good decision.
The old Chris Mitsopoulos theory, Corbin. 3 stoppages in a row. The umpires usually find a free kick. Perth champion in the WAFL. Steele moves it out to Bowie. Kicks inside 50 and up and marking Langford. Right forward pocket, tight angle, 25 metres out. Right side for a left footer.
Good mark. Can do this, Langford. Strong mark. He's been certainly been a goal kicker this year for the Demons.
Pick 6 in 2024. Veers out, snaps on the left and goals. Snatches back the lead for Melbourne. They lead by 4 points as we approach half-time. 6:4:40 plays 5:6:36. 27 minutes into the second.
Yeah, good call, Rammer. He has. He's really making that wing position his own, isn't he? He's become that sort of prototype modern winger. Ability to get back, huge running power, good height as well. And then drift forward at the right time and really test out a smaller opponent. Take a good mark overhead. That's his 12th goal of the year. What's he had today? Oh, it's just his first kick for the quarter, but you're right, having a real impact across this year, and good response from Melbourne, because it just looked like fatigue was setting in. That last passage of play and the Hawks' running power was just starting to take over a bit late in this second quarter, so a nice steadying goal. Gawn's lifted too, hasn't he? Heath's gone off, so he's the main man. How often have we seen that from Big Max?
Ruck share it down. Newcomb threw his boot at it. High up and under. Newcomb goes and gets it. Second touch. Handball meant for McKenzie. Missed him. Invites Steele in. Collects for the Demons. Tackled by McKenzie. Ball comes out. Pack forms around him. The former Saint extracts it. Cozzy Pickett's kick smothered. Now Reeves for the Hawks. Handball away to McGuinness, but he's under pressure. Tackled, lost it. Latrell breaks the would-be tackle from Amon. Kicks to the goal square. Petty backpedaling on the behind line. It's through for a minor score. 5-point lead for the Narn Demons. 29 minutes gone second term over the Hawks. Fun game of footy. 5 lead changes so far after scores were level at quarter time. Petty's kicked 3. And the concern for Max Heath, who come off for a concussion test in his second quarter. We haven't seen him since.
Sicily kicking long and D'Ambrosio. Very ambitious. Tried to leap up and take a hanger and only succeeded in giving Harvey Langford a big corky in the glue.
Might as well, I suppose. You're not going to get anywhere near it.
Langford sends the D's to full forward. Petty hands on it nearly. Latrell Pickett sweating on it in the pocket. Stays alive. Quick shot on goal from Chandler. Ricochets off shins out of play. Throw in right forward pocket. Here for the Hawks. Ooh, it went into the knee of Sicily. Then out of play on the full, but I think we'll get a throw in.
My back hurts just watching Harvey Langford there.
They hurt. They really hurt.
Proper knee right in the back. He's trying to bend it and do everything he can to try and loosen up. Forward 50 stoppage here for the D's late in the quarter. Chandler trying to get a kick away. Knocked off the footy. Battle just soccers it 50 metres further afield. Bowie needs a Sunday hop. Gets it. Collects. Wrong foot's Ginnivan and then heads out wide with the kick. Finds Cross. He takes the mark here. 24 seconds to go in the half. Kicks inside 50. Mark in front. Jefferson. And their emerging key forward will have the last kick of the first half.
He's been threatening, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Been coming, this one.
He's jumping at the ball.
Really launching at the footy, highest point. I mean, the stats show that it's only his second mark for the game. It really has felt like he's been involved in the game, hasn't he? At least creating a contest, and you just feel like if you keep presenting, keep getting to the contest, keep launching at the footy, your moment will come. And a nice clunk there, right on the bell.
To give them a double-digit lead at half-time. Jefferson misses. Make it 6 at half-time. The Narn Demons lead. Quarter running just over the half-hour mark. So 6-6. The Narn Demons, they lead Hawthorn 5-6. 6-point advantage in favour of the D's. The goal kickers. Harrison Petty's got 3. It's just the 6th time in his career that he's done that. 3 goals in a game. 1 each for Cozzy Pickett, Harvey Langford and Jacob Van Rooyen. Meanwhile for the Hawks, 5 individual goal kickers. Lewis, Watson, Moore, Weddle and Ramsden, all with 1 each. Meanwhile, the first goal of the game was kicked by Harrison Petty. If you're keeping up with such things, we've had 6 lead changes in that half of footy. And 6 is the magic number. That is Melbourne's lead at the half. Max Heath, by the way, just joining in the rest of the team as he trots onto the ground. We'll look to get a further update from the D's as we progress here. But at least he joins in with the rest of his teammates as they trot off at half-time, having had a concussion test moments ago. Off the SMS, Pete's trying to give you a bit of a handbally to jog your memory. He said there's a Races Cafe on the corner of Wendouree Parade and Webster Street. There's a Piper's, which is the opposite side of the lake in the gardens. There's also the Yacht Club, the Boathouse.
It's the yacht, the Boathouse.
The Boathouse.
It's the Boathouse.
And the Lakeview Pub from Pete. So there's a few different options, but the Boathouse is the one.
That's the one. Mr. Sharp's the proprietor. Very good establishment.
In Ballarat. From Mo in Melbourne off the SMS. Harvey Langford might not have been the 2025 rising star, but his star is rising. Also, Cat's Head Tough. I don't like that. That's from Malden, by the way. I didn't pronounce that correctly. It's unsurprising. Sam in Joondalup. I've got this one down. Some very average kicking in this match, particularly inside 50. Some very unhappy forwards with that delivery. Have we not figured out that the high bomb is almost always a turnover? From Sam. And from Fran. Thanks for the call and the special comments. Not going for either side. Listening to hear the Demons' progression as they near the King's birthday clash. What a game that's going to be. Here at the MCG when the Pies and the D's do it. Before then, though, we got a pretty good one on tap here. It is Melbourne by 6 points at half-time.
Well,
Adam Ramanaskas, Luke Ball on ABC Sport.
It is a good one because both teams haven't broken yet. You're sort of sitting there waiting to go, well, who breaks first here? Now, both teams had their moments in that quarter. So Melbourne, the first 2 goals of the quarter, then Hawthorn the next 2, then Melbourne get one late. But it was a bit of back-and-forth football. I probably think Melbourne's key forwards at this stage are going better than Hawthorn's key forwards. So we really haven't seen Ramsden. We saw there get his kick and a goal about halfway through that quarter, but he hasn't done much. So Deere hasn't. He's only done a little bit in that first quarter. Lewis drifted out of it in that second quarter. I thought he was quite good in that first quarter, but you look up the other end of the ground. I think Jefferson's going well. He's jumping at the ball. He's competing. Petty's kicked his 3 goals. Van Rooyen's had a couple of moments, so they're probably getting a little bit more bang for buck, Melbourne, with their key forwards. Where Melbourne are really doing the damage, well, particularly in that second quarter, clearance was 12-7 in Melbourne's favour, so starting to get to work around stoppage. We saw Cozzy on the move a couple of times there, so it's a tricky one for Finn McGuinness because he wants to be obviously right with him, but he's getting multiple blocks, Cozzy, on the way through, so he really needs a lot of help from his teammates around stoppage there. If there is a block, either you fight through it or you're handing over and you're talking with that handover. Again, Hawthorn looked dangerous on counter-attack. Obviously, we saw the Weddle goal, terrific goal late in that quarter, but there's a number of times in front of us here on the wing where probably Hawthorn's foot skills let them down, which is rare to say, and I mentioned Josh Ward on 2 occasions with his foot skills letting his team down. Again, it's Melbourne probably just not coming up and putting enough frontal pressure on to really make Hawthorn make a quicker decision. You don't want Hawthorn to carry the ball. As soon as they start carrying the ball, they're going to find targets. Now, generally, they'll come back through the middle of the ground. So I think Melbourne need to be a little bit quicker to react, particularly in their transition defence and coming up. Hawthorn, on the other hand, and I just mentioned it earlier, Bally, I think they need to look at what they're doing around stoppage now. Sort of, +5 in clearance that quarter to Melbourne. If Max Gawn looks like he's on top quite comfortably now with Reeves and Meeks. So I think it's okay. Let's rework this setup around contest so we can sort of get that territory battle going our way early in this third quarter.
Yeah, no mids really jumping off the page. Probably for either team, to be fair, but certainly from Hawthorn's point of view. Newcomb, just the 8 possessions, and most of those have been really under the pump, haven't they? Hasn't had an impact at all in the game. McDonald's had moments, 9. McKenzie, same thing, moments. He's had 10. Ward, 9. Huswaite's the big body mid that's gone in for Connor Nash. He's only had the 2 kicks and 6 handballs. So, from Melbourne's point of view, you're right. They're probably on top around the ball and haven't been able to get any sort of advantage in the ruck, even with Heath going out. I thought Gawn sort of sensed that moment and lifted a fair bit there himself. But then, Sparrow 12, Steele 11, Langford's had the 8, and Pickett, the 8, who are the ones that have probably spent most of the time around the footy for the Demons. So no mids really on top and getting a stranglehold of this game, and hence hence the scoreboard. Really, you're right. It's been hard to score, to get any, really efficient sort of use. Really, that the Weddle goal at the end there was Hawthorn at its best, and really that running power, from back to forward and more, getting high up the ground, getting involved a couple of times. But yeah, you look at the numbers and both teams' defenders on top. Sicily 14, Bowie 14, Lever, Howes are the next two for the Demons, and Hardwick and Amon and Impey the other ones from the Hawks' point of view. So the opportunities there, you feel with the way that both teams play and, the high sort of running, high-octane game, the game will open up in this second half a bit. It's just who's going to have the composure.
Who does that suit?
The smarts. Well, I mean, I'm still sticking with the Hawks.
Yep.
Just based on experience and a bit, I think. But I think the way the game's playing out, Melbourne have to be really happy.
Yeah.
And that caller said it, when the bomb kick goes in, that suits Melbourne, doesn't it? And Turner and Petty and Gawn getting back, they've really been able to control that, and that's why they've been able to defend 27, 28 inside 50s pretty well, and only concede the 5 goals, the Demons. So I think that that lower in the eyes, that lower, that sort of quicker sort of off the line ball use is probably the order of the day for both teams, to be fair, into this second half, and that will allow Watson to come in. Watson's only had the 4 possessions, so that's a massive win, isn't it? Colstrip, he's become a really important player for the D's.
Yeah.
Both in the middle of the ground, and then his ability to be able to go back and really lock down and concentrate has been terrific.
Interestingly, he was a high draft pick. He was taken top 15, not top 12, something like that. One of the games where, Ben talks about this a lot, where he was scouted and really impressed was playing a league game where he did a negating role and essentially impressed, and they said, oh, that's great, he can run around and negate and shut down a key midfielder as a 17-year-old when he's running around the twos. Can I just pick up on what you're saying about Max? So obviously with Heath going out of the game and Bourne being able to step up, is there a chance that's actually their better look? And at this stage, they're playing the 2 rucks almost. Maybe it's trying to conserve Max at 34 years of age, but it means Max has to go forward or go back. And maybe this is how Max has. I mean, he's done it for so long, one out.
Yeah.
But maybe this is just that you get more out of Max. Even if it means he goes one out.
The interesting part is I hear what you're saying, but I want longevity out of Max too.
Yeah, exactly. It'll come back to bite in round 20 in August and September. So I think you're right. There's evidence to show that Max is when he's the number one man and one out for 85-90% of the game. That's when he's at his absolute best. He's 8-time All-Australian.
So if this was a cutthroat final, he'd be playing high percentage.
I think so. Yeah, that's right. But we're in round, what are we, round 10?
Round 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're mid-May.
Let's get some longevity.
Let's just see if we can preserve him. That's right. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it looks like Max Heath, who knows, we'll get an update, but he certainly came off, had a concussion test late in that, or midway through that second quarter. He didn't return. He did join in and jog off the ground with the rest of his teammates, but we're unsure whether he'll come back out after the half-time break. It's the Narm Demons who lead by 6 points over Hawthorn as Sir Doug Nicholls' round continues. We'll be back here with the third quarter in only a few moments from now, but first, let's get the latest from the ABC Newsroom.
Hello, this is ABC News with David Rowlands. Authorities believe a 4-metre wide shark was responsible for a fatal attack off Western Australia's Rottnest Island this morning. Andrew Williams reports.
A 38-year-old man has died after being bitten by a shark at Horseshoe Reefs off the western part of Rottnest Island late this morning. He was taken by boat to nearby Geordie Bay, where he was met by paramedics but could not be revived. A patrol boat is monitoring the area and people on the island have been advised to exercise caution. Police say a report will be prepared for the coroner.
Iran's foreign minister says a lack of trust is the biggest obstacle in negotiations to end the war with the United States and Israel. Larry Buttrose has more on this story.
Abbas Araghchi says contradictory messages have made Iran reluctant about the real intentions of the US. Speaking in New Delhi, he said Iran doubts American seriousness, but negotiations would move forward if Washington was ready for a fair and balanced deal. Earlier this week, US President Donald Trump dismissed Iran's latest formal peace proposal as garbage. While Iran was said to include some nuclear concessions, Mr. Trump says he wants to remove highly enriched uranium from the country and prevent it from developing nuclear weapons. Iran says its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes.
Meanwhile, President Trump has been talking up the outcome of his 2-day visit to China. He says he has a very good relationship with Chinese President Xi Jinping, and the two of them have solved a lot of problems. Mr. Xi is due to travel to the US later this year after accepting an invitation from Trump following the American president's two-day visit to Beijing, where major trade deals were announced. Trump says the outcome is good for US farmers and for aerospace company Boeing.
Trade has been very strong. We're getting a lot of soybeans for our farmers. There's a lot of things happening for the farmers. He committed to 200 Boeings, big ones, 777s and 737s, and a lot of big ones, big, beautiful Boeing planes. 200, that's a lot.
The federal opposition leader is vowing to amend the Sex Discrimination Act following a court decision to uphold a ruling that the exclusion of a transgender woman from a female-only app was discriminatory. Yesterday, Roxanne Tickle was awarded $20,000 in damages in the federal court case against the Giggle for Girls app and its CEO, Sally Grover. In a statement, Angus Taylor says the outcome confirmed Australian law does not properly protect single-sex spaces for women and girls. Mr. Taylor has pledged the coalition will amend the Act to protect single-sex spaces if it wins government at the next election, but that the move is not about targeting transgender Australians. A vigil has been held in Melbourne to honour the life of teenager Isla Bell after manslaughter charges were dropped in Victoria's Supreme Court earlier this week. Marat Ganyev was charged with murdering the 19-year-old in 2024 and putting her body in a fridge. That charge was downgraded to manslaughter and was discontinued by the prosecution in the Supreme Court on Tuesday, with prosecutors citing insufficient evidence. Ganyev is now charged with attempting to pervert the course of justice. Isla Bell's mother, Justine Spokes, told people attending the rally that she was devastated by the decision.
My mind was prepared for that outcome because my expectations were low and they weren't low enough, and I just couldn't prepare my heart for that.
A child has died and two other people are fighting for life following a crash at Woosang in central Victoria. Police say a stolen vehicle left the Calder Highway and struck a tree shortly before 10 o'clock this morning. A child passenger died at the scene, while a male was cut from the wreckage and flown to hospital with critical injuries. Emergency workers have been trying to free a second male. Police believe the vehicle was stolen from Mildura overnight. A truck driver who fled the scene of a crash on Adelaide's southeastern freeway this morning has been taken to hospital for forensic blood testing. Sophie Landau has more.
SA police arrived to the scene at Glen Osmond around 3:30 after reports a truck travelling towards the city collided with the median strip and several road signs before crossing to the wrong side of the road and rolling on its side. It's alleged a 28-year-old Salisbury man driving the truck ran away but was found by patrols before 8 a.m. Police say the man was taken to hospital for assessment, where a sample of his blood will be taken for forensic analysis. Roads have been reopened in the area.
That brings you up to date with ABC News. We'll have more in 1 hour's time.
Bet you didn't know we're the world's biggest gamblers.
Totally crippled my life.
Bingo!
I'm finding out why and if we really are the lucky country. Join me, Sean McAuliffe, Going for Broke.
Starts Tuesday, May 19 on ABC TV and ABC iView.
On ABC Local Radio, Sport Digital, and on ABC Listen. This is Sir Doug Nicholls Round with ABC Sport.
One to hit out, and then coat hangers Cozzy. And Kazai Pickett's going to get a free left-hand forward for Melbourne. The Pickett pockets at the other end of the ground, but they're on their feet now. One for the Wizard, one for Cozzy.
Now Chandler attacking edge of the square, goes inside 50, Van Rooyen nearly drops the mark. Petty gathers it, tries to break a tackle, and snap is third. Harrison Petty in takeover mode. Sicily goes inside 50 and Ramsden juggles the mark. His left foot drop punt is nice. Brings the margin back inside a kick.
Hand pass inside to Dylan Moore. Still 60 out at half forward. Hand pass back to Weddle. Another involvement in the chain of Josh Weddle. That is your goal. High fives in the front row. And the running prowess of Josh Weddle on full display.
Steele moves it out to Bowie. Kicks inside 50 and up and marking Langford. Veers out, snaps on the left and goals. snatches back the lead for Melbourne.
This is Sir Doug Nicholls Round on ABC Local Radio, Sport Digital, and on ABC Listen.
It's halftime here. The Narm Demons by 6 points. They lead Hawthorn at halftime. A fun game of footy with 5 lead changes so far. Harrison Petty's kicked 3. The battle between the Picket Pocket and the Wizard Bay. That was the way it was marketed coming in. Well, I can tell you Kazai's had 8 touches. He's kicked a goal. Well, Nick Watson's had it 4 times. And so far, he's got the 1 goal to his name as well. But 2 blocks almost directly across the ground on the diagonal from one another. In the forward pocket on the northern side at the punt road end is the Picket Pocket wearing the royal blue caps. And so directly across the ground underneath the big screen, bottom level, left forward pocket, Ponsford stand end of the ground, or the city end. And that is where the Wizard Bay is, and appropriately everyone's decked out in the Wizard hats. Earlier today, Saturday afternoon footy in round 10, it was a big win for the Adelaide Crows, 2013-133 over North Melbourne, 9-11-65. A disappointing showing from the Kangas, who conceded 10 consecutive goals in the second quarter. They lost by 68 points, a day out for the home team. And Braden Ingram caught up with Crows defender Jordan Butts post-game.
Well, Jordan Butts, thanks for joining us in the Crows rooms. Talk us through that start and then how you turn it around, because that was one of the best second quarters in the club's history.
Yeah, obviously not quite the start we wanted. We were a little bit on the back foot, but we're able to turn it around really quickly and obviously put some score on the board and go back to our contest and win those clearances. So, that's probably stuck out.
I guess you're used this year, unfortunately, to having those slow starts, all those little moments in quarters where you go in and out of games. Was that what Nixie spoke to you about at quarter time?
Yeah, I mean, our focus has always been, throw the first punch in the contest, and unfortunately, they threw the first punch in the first couple of clearances and inside 50. So, we're able to, win the arm wrestle in the end and get things back on our terms really quickly.
That second quarter, you limited them to just 42 disposals. It was incredible. They could barely get their hands on the ball. Could you sense that was going on? Because just everything you seemed to touch turned to goals, considering the fact you kicked 10 goals.
Yeah, no, it is good to watch from the back half. The mid's going to work and giving our forwards some good looks, and playing front half footy is obviously makes it easier for us as well. So, we're able to win the initial ball and go from there.
And your skipper Jordan Dawson, we all know how much of a tough time he's had in recent times, but today again he led from the front in the midfield. He set you up, didn't he? Yeah, you can always count on Dawson to lead the way. He's our captain for a reason. So, he obviously brings the fight and we follow on with him. And now just a short turnaround heading to Launceston against the Hawks. I mean, that was a really tricky game last year in torrential conditions. I guess you sort of prepare for the same?
Yeah, I mean, we thought it was going to be a bit wet and slippery today, but it turns out to be pretty hot. So, we'll be prepared for anything. And, 5-day break, we'll recover up and, get ready for another contest.
Jordan Butts, thanks for your time. Congratulations.
Awesome, thank you.
Jordan Butts there in the Crows rooms post-game. Their Guana is their First Nations name for Adelaide that they'll have during Sir Doug Nicholls' round, a win by 68 points over the Kangas. There was some fears around Luke Davies-Uniacke's knee after an incident right on the final siren. I told you in the second quarter that Davies-Uniacke dodging serious knee trouble, so that's good news. The club says that the doctors are happy with how he's presented and confident that he'll be okay. So the latest there on Luke Davies-Uniacke. Good news too from a Melbourne point of view. Max Heath has done the preliminary warm-up to start the second half. He's on the bench at present, but he still looks like he's actively involved in the game. Corbin Middlemass and Ben Cameron, Luke Ball, Adam Ramanauskas, your analysts, our premiership pair, Ray Chamberlain in the front row of the grandstand. He's been swarmed, Razor. More and more people gathering around, photos, the whole nine.
Yep.
The floodlights have taken over. The night sky has set in, and we've got a half a footy in front of us. The D's by 6. You're with Ben Cameron.
Reeves taps it down to Newcomb. Hawthorn out of the middle. Husway, long left foot kick towards full forward. Lewis coming at the footy, doesn't mark it. Ball hits the deck. Cleaning it up on the last line. Howes gets rid of it to Bowie. Exiting kick beyond the defensive 50, and Morrison carries out Langford. The two wingmen going at it. I mentioned earlier Harry Morrison, the godson of the late Ken Judge, who coached Hawthorn in that merger game, and of course also wore number 1 at Hawthorn, the number now worn by Morrison.
Famous game of footy. Might have to ask you folks or your grandparents about it. The youngsters out there now, 30 years ago from the boundary throw-in, Huswaite kicks to full forward. fresh air on the spoil attempt. In the end, it ends up in the lap of Turner, and he kicks to the back pocket for the advantage of Cross. And the slow play Melbourne last line of defence. 6-point advantage. Opening minute of the third, all the way back to Lever. Lever's short kick to Langdon. And gee, we're a long way away from those early season games with daylight savings still in effect and the twilight game almost completely during the daytime. Second half action here and before 6 o'clock and already pitch black skies above. Melbourne work it down the wing. Langford, hand pass picked off. Sicily trying to get away from Fritsch. Hawthorn back with it through Ryan, then to Morrison, to Newcomb. Now out to McKenzie. Hawthorn away.
McKenzie kicks up to half forward, coming at it. McGuinness hands to it, doesn't complete the mark.
Well, Lever.
Thrown on the wing, and in fact, a lasso free kick. It will go to Lever.
We're also nearly halfway through the season, Corb, you know.
Yeah.
We are. We're now in the middle of May. So
Melbourne by 6 points.
It's amazing how that sneaks up on you. Here we are.
We're nowhere near the solstice, though, are we?
No. Winter solstice. What date's that?
Well,
June 20, I reckon. We've got another month
June
to
21.
go. Yeah.
It's dark early.
Kick from Lever up the wing. I was thinking that the other day. Pitch black by sort of 5:30.
Good. Have dinner earlier.
Ball up on the wing. Melbourne by a goal. Off hands. McKenzie stripped of it. Morrison comes up with it for the Hawks. Handball away towards Guinea. Huswaite breaks a tackle. Feeds it forward. Away to McGuinness, who moves it on to Moore. Hawthorn over halfway here. Moore pokes it over the top for Ginnivan. Ginnivan taking the mark and skipping back off it. Nothing he likes initially, so he looks into the pocket for his little mate, the Wizard. And Watson comes up to mark, 40 metres out. Very acute angle, right forward pocket.
Well, they come out of the gates sharp, Rammer. I don't know if there was a Sam Mitchell sting in the half-time address, but one side's come out looking on top of the ground, led by Joe Newcomb, who you just thought was going to respond. Pretty quiet first half, wins the first centre clearance, already 3 possessions. Ginnivan involved a couple of times, and now Nick Watson.
There's not much this man can't do. But he can't kick it from here on this occasion. He goes up, hands to it. Lewis ends up with the footy. Rushes a kick on goal, misses everything, stays in play, and the Demons will emerge with the footy from their back pocket.
Hit from Rivers, comes out towards half-back. Morrison involved in a little episode there with Jefferson. Almost a very big hit. Collided with his own teammate, but he'd be able to take a bit of the force off that. Langford now on the wing, sends the D's down to half-forward, and a good mark for Battle. And jumps in front of Petty and takes the intercept at half-back.
So that collision between Impey and Morrison, that's Impey's ball. Impey's running towards Hawthorn's goals. Morrison needs to shepherd there.
Right of way, Rammer.
Correct.
Battle off the back flank. Kicks looking for Reeves in a tangle with Gawn. Free kick for a hold. It's going to Max. And Gawn will get it. So Heath seemingly still in the game, sitting in the front row on the bench. Haven't seen him, though, after that concussion test in the second quarter. Gawn down to half forward. Jefferson leading up, taking the mark. And young key forward growing in front of our eyes today. Matt Jefferson with it at left half forward.
Sure is. And that time he's led James Sicily to the ball. Yeah. You can just tell he's got good forward craft, doesn't he? Just a little step around Sicily, took front position, and then obviously very athletic as well. It's the last piece of the puzzle, though, Rammer, isn't it? Yep. He hasn't rewarded any of his work today. He's to reward his team's work here too, you feel.
Jefferson at left half forward.
There we go.
That's better. He's moving on up. Knocks it through. And the D's double their advantage. 7-6 to 5-6. Early doors in the third term. This is Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Luke Ball, Adam Ramanauskas.
Yeah, really like what I'm seeing. I just had a look, listed at 195, so he's a real size, isn't he? Key position size, and just like his work rate today as well. Great forward craft, just keeps on the move. Just looking at the free kick, Max Gawn, who you feel will play the majority of the ruck time this second half. Maybe, I don't know, can Heath just provide 5 minutes relief,
give him,
a quarter?
7 minutes, right. I think he needs.
In the ruck. So keep Gawn in the ruck. No need to go forward, especially young Jefferson clunking them like that.
I think on the other side, Reeves and Meek are going to work Gawn over. Like they're going to be putting the knee into him in these centre bounces. Physically try to beat him up a bit.
Melbourne out of the middle again through Chandler. Floating kick inside 50. Jefferson hands to it, doesn't take the mark. Cozzy Pickett buzzing through, dispossessed. Ball spills out. Laurie Forward pocket here for Melbourne. Fritsch, handball over the top and tackled out. The Hawks under pressure. Langford the tackler. Throwing coming left forward pocket here for the D's. Melbourne by 12 points. Going by the moniker of Nam throughout Sir Doug Nicholls round. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
12 points. The advantage. Boundary throwing. Another forward 50 stoppage for the D's. Reeves palms it down. Cozzy Pickett moving through. Clever doesn't take possession. Knocks it away to Rivers. Works his way through traffic. Kicks to full forward. Cross. Almost a one-hander. No free kick. Pack forms in front of him. Says, I'll have it. And the ball up.
I like this from the D's. Just a bit of hard work inside their forward 50 now. Lock it in. Make Hawthorn really defend you for a few minutes. See if they can continue to concentrate.
Reeves wins the tap. Spills out to battle. The umpire's gone down.
Ray won't be happy with that.
He'll have a bit to say about that. Harry Morrison with the kick up to the wing. Lever punches it away. Bowie attacks the footy. Inadvertently soccers it on to a nest of Hawks. Newcomb picks it up. Centre half back. Off to Hardwick. To Amon. Handball errant. Allows in Petty. He inadvertently soccers it away. Rivers kicks it 5 metres. Gawn taps it on. Centre half forward here, the D's. And Huswaite takes it back for the men in brown and gold.
He goes through the middle of the ground. Nice little kick there from Ryan. In fact, it was McKenzie. Goes short to Impey, who marks the middle of the G. Impey, high up and under inside 50. Kick might work. Deer in one direction. Howes the other. Howes can't complete the mark. Deer follows up. Tackles Howes. Says ball up. Left forward pocket for the Hawks. It was a clever kick from Impey.
Yeah.
Good
clever
contest.
Kick. Required the courage. Well done, Howes.
Umpire doesn't wait. There we go. Just tosses it up. Ball hits the deck. Comes down Melbourne's way. Tolstrup hands it away to Turner. His kick misses Langford. His intended target. Runs onto it now. Back pocket for the D's.
Kicks in towards the corridor. Sharp. Doesn't gather it first time. Does second. Melbourne ball. Gives it away. Back to Rivers, who kicks on his left for Petty, forward of the wing. Handball releases the run of Langford. Loops the handball over the top. Steele, 60 out from home. Kicks long to full forward. They've got the numbers down there going after it. Jefferson hits the deck. Laurie snaps and goes. It's all happening at the MCG for Laurie B. Melbourne by 18 points. 8-6-54. Plays 5-6-36. 8 minutes into the third.
Who was that? Laurie Bailey, was it? Bailey Laurie. No, terrific goal. But that is from one goal square to the other. And young Langford again, you can just see he's going to come off nosy. No, he's going to stay out there sucking in the big ones. He's got serious running power.
He just worked.
Didn't he? He
worked from the back
followed
pocket.
The kick. That's right. Sharp involved. The good runners. Petty again getting involved in the game. And in the end, we thought Jack Steele had an opportunity to lower his eyes, didn't he, and hit that kick inside 50. But the deep entry is worrying Hawthorn, has all day.
Well, they just got exposed there, Hawthorn's defence. It wasn't just Bailey Fritsch who was alone inside forward 50. There was 2 other demons. So that's the overcommitment of the run that Hawthorn like to do. But if the ball turns over, they're in trouble.
New game high. The Narm Demons up by 18. No clean possession out of the middle. Ed Langdon picks it off. He gets it away to Steele. Hand pass to Jaff. Kicks out wide. Umpire right in the line of that kick. And in the end, it slides past Petty and Sicily and out of play.
It's on top around the middle now. The Demons, the last couple of centre bounce clearances.
Last disposal free for the Hawks. Sicily to take it.
But
nice work from Petty. Told to play on. Move forward. Smothered the kick. Man on the mark. Ball sits up for Harvey Langford. Hand pass out in front of Sparrow. Paddles it to his own advantage. Now hacks it off the deck with a volley down to half forward. Fritsch is getting a free. He was in a tangle with his direct opponent before. He'd even grabbed the footy, and young Ryan gives away the free. It's going Fritsch's way. Centering kick, dangerous to centre half forward. Intercepting Bowie, knocks it away to Langdon. Langdon goals! The D's are hot at the G. A 4-goal break. Melbourne's biggest lead of the day grows. 11 minutes into the third. It is 24 points. Narm 9-6. Hawthorn 5-6. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Luke Ball, Adam Ramanauskas.
Well, just a bit of chaos, really, inside forward 50. It wasn't a great kick by Bailey Fritsch. But then, there's a terrific attack on the footy by Bowie.
Yep.
There, just body lined there. Although he didn't take the ball, it was just going back in Melbourne's direction there. So great contest. Then Langdon with the snap. Just every now and then, it doesn't need to be perfect. Doesn't need to be perfect going inside forward 50 because it puts the Hawthorn defenders under pressure.
That 4-goal break that they have, the last 4 goals in the game. 3 in this third term, 1 before halftime. Hawthorn with the centre break though. McDonald, a towering kick inside 50. Off the hands of the pack, hits the deck. McGuinness there for Hawthorn. Off to Moore, half forward. He'll kick inside 50. Brilliantly done.
That's good.
Found a hole somewhere in the defence.
Yep.
And Lewis leads up the mark. 35 out, 30-degree angle to the right.
It's working a phone box, wasn't it? No space at all there. That's Dylan Moore at his best. And just a kick that drew Mitch Lewis, who started well, didn't he? But drifted out of the game in that second quarter. All of a sudden, this is a critical kick.
Mitch Lewis on the approach. Puts his laces through it, and that did not deviate. He's got a couple, and it's back to 3 goals, the deficit for Hawthorn. Melbourne 9-6-60. Hawthorn 6-6-42. 12 travelled third term.
Well, that's what you want, those smaller forwards. Dylan Moore, on that occasion there, had no right to get that ball through the little gap. There was 2 Melbourne players on either side of him. This again, Mitch Lewis just leads at the footy. He's just an honest forward, Mitch Lewis. So that's what you, as a kid, when you're kicking the ball from the midfield, all you want to do is somebody coming at your eyes, somebody coming at your kicking leg, and Mitch Lewis does it extraordinarily well. But that was must needed by the Hawks there. The game was just starting to slip away.
Oh yeah, big time, big goal in the context of the game. Back to 18. The advantage for the D's. 12 minutes into this third term. Max Heath back out there, wins the hit out. There's a free kick out. His own umpire spots one. It's a hold. It's going Melbourne's way. Sparrow takes it. Hand pass to Cozzy Pickett. Kicks it deep inside 50. Ben Roy in the target. Crashes the pack. Took a couple of bodies with him. Ball spills to Battle. Kicks out to the wing. Langdon competes in the air. What a battle with Moore. Moore trying to protect the footy in the drop zone. They both bowled over. Picked up by Steele. Tackled by Ramsden. Gee, this game's gone up a notch, and a ball up here between wing and half forward for the D's.
Terrific effort by Bodie Ryan there, coming back with the fly to help out Josh Battle.
Heath knocks it down inadvertently. Picked up there by Ward, who gets a handball. Just moving forward for the Hawks. Scrimmage close to the line. In the end, Steele feeds it out to Langdon. Latrell Pickett, a little fumble. That allows in the Hawks more. Little jab step. It's the handball back infield. Away to Newcomb. Loops it over the top, looking for McKenzie. Doing well, Jaff. Breaks it up. Demons ball again, back flank. Under the pump. Lever gets it out to Jaff. And he'll run around more and go for a gallop.
Jaff. A long kick down to half forward. Needs Van Rooyen to move for him. Half volley pick up unsuccessful from Battle. Out of play. And a throw in between wing and half forward for the D's.
Oh, we love Latrell Pickett. He's just got a little bad habit creeping into his game, hasn't he? Just trying to pick the ball up with one hand at times where he can just go with 2, secure the footy. A game like this, pressure's high. Just a little bit too cute.
Heath palms it down, passing through Steele eventually, kicks inside 50, punched away by Battle, but straight into the path of Petty. Hand pass to centre half forward, Fritsch under pressure, good tackle Weddle, ball comes out, Cozzy Pickett goes and collects, knocks it free to Fritsch. Fritsch gets boot to ball, kick goes forward, picked off by Ward, Hawthorn back with it, Amon's hand pass finds Sicily, defensive goal square, calm head under pressure, kicks wide to Ginnivan on the back flank.
And Ginnivan wants to go, kicks around the members' wing, up towards Lewis, getting back. Oh, break it up, Turner. Lewis marks. Oh, Turner ends up with it. What a pluck. Turner, he had no right in that marking contest. Comes down with the footy for Melbourne. Moves it on to Steele in the middle.
Short kick to Laurie. It's been Melbourne's quarter, 3-1. They lead by 3 goals as Laurie turns, puts it inside 50. Hand on it from Weddle. Ball hits the deck. Ryan on the bottom of the pack. Forms over the top of him, and the ump says, I'll have it.
It's been great, Disco Turner. It's his 4th intercept mark, and that was just out of position, wasn't it? Committed himself in the body, and that was terrific. Looked like the Hawks were out.
Max Heath gets rid of Meek. Kick smothered. Ward, the 1%er. Sicily with the get-out-of-here kick. Hawks under the pump here. Ramsden. Handball away to McDonald. Can they get something going on the counter-attack? Handball out to Ward. He hasn't got a lot up ahead.
So he just has to sweep the handball to Newcomb. Kicking on his left around the boundary line. Ginnivan in front of Jaff.
Great running, great work rate, Ginnivan.
Kicks infield to Moore. Hawthorn in their forward half. Up to half forward. McDonald kicks to a pack of Hawks. Morrison at full forward. The winger slides in and takes the mark. 15 out directly in front.
That's what they can do to you, Hawthorn. When they're not going that well in a quarter or 10 minutes of football, their foot skills can get them back into the game. It's a perfect example there. Melbourne have had all the running, really, in this quarter.
Well, he was born to play for Hawthorn. The godfather like Ken Judge, and his drop punt is through. His first major of the season, and it's back to 2 goals. 9-6-60 plays 7-6-48. The Hawks are hanging around Adam Ramanauskas and Luke Ball.
Well, they certainly are hanging around, but Melbourne are certainly having the better of the quarter, you feel. So inside 50s now for this quarter, 8-6 in Melbourne's favour. And even but what Hawthorn are doing, as I mentioned, is when they're having their little moments of good play, it's just purely through ball movement. It's not through winning clearance. It's not through tackle and pressure. It's just, okay, when we win the ball, we've got to go. That was a perfect example there. So you look, gets to Ginnivan, then inside to Connor McDonald, who plays on.
Moore to McDonald. It's the usual suspects, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just the work rate, incredible. Ginnivan, Moore, McDonald.
It's how they
the Hawks'
train.
Weapon.
They train ball movement, Hawthorn.
Mead comes up with it at the restart. Shot a hand pass forward for Hawthorn, but straight to Ed Langdon. He intercepts for Melbourne, gives it to Rivers, handball to Heath. Heath pumps a kick down to half forward. Kind bounce for Van Rooyen. Now it runs away from him. Impey gets back to lend a hand. Handball away to Battle. Handball to Hardwick. Hardwick off the back flank. Kicks down the wing. Chanquot Jaff got up. Spoils it. Back into the ruck. Knocked away by Sparrow. To Jaff. Hand pass to Steele. Steele kicks to half forward. Missed Latrell Pickett. Hawthorn back with it. Impey took him on and lost. Great chase down tackle from Fritsch. He was worried about Latrell Pickett. He did not hear Bailey Fritsch coming. Fritsch goes short with the kick and Steele drops in the hole at left half forward to mark. Fritsch wants it back. Receives. Left footer on the run. Bailey Fritsch. Superb. The sharpshooter. He deserved the goal after the chase down tackle.
He did.
And Bailey Fritsch is doing it both with and without the footy. Melbourne by 3 goals. 18 minutes gone in the third. 10-6 to 7-6. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. D's by 18.
I think we had the same reaction, Ram.
Wow, there can't be a lower percentage play, really. There, so Jack Steele's taken the mark, probably about 48 metres out. It's off the back of really good forward pressure by both Fritsch and Pickett. Latrell Pickett, that is. But then Bailey Smith goes wide to Jack Steele, just inside forward 50. Then wraps around the back, and he's virtually on the boundary line at 50. But that's the skill level of this man.
Yep.
He looks so casual as a footballer so often, but...
Left foot against the fence.
I love it when up here you guys are about to say Jack Steele shouldn't have given it, Fritsch shouldn't have asked for it, and then it goes through anything.
But that's pure talent.
Yeah. Going out of the middle for Melbourne. They lead by 18. Inside 50. Bouncing ball. Laurie gathers for Melbourne. Handball, a turnover to Weddle. His handball back into the mark, and it allows in the D. Sparrow fighting after it.
Done.
Gets it out. Here's Laurie again. Kick smothered. Ricochets away. Huswaite coughs it up. Laurie wins it for Melbourne. Jefferson. The D's. Again by 4 goals. His second. And they're 11-6, 72, leading Hawthorn 7-6-48. Time on. Third term, Luke Ball, Adam Ramanauskas.
Well, there's nothing pretty about that, Ramo. That's just hard work, isn't it? Yep. Centre clearance, tack the ball forward, contest, forward of the ball. Laurie involved a couple of times. Sparrow was terrific, wasn't he? Just wanted it a bit more than his Hawthorn opponent there. And young Jefferson is really starting to emerge. Forcing the ball forward, creating the panic, creating the error from the Hawks defenders, and great response because he just felt like the Hawks had steadied a bit, but that's just forward pressure and effort, isn't it? And a nice finish from young Jefferson.
Fun game of footy. 5 goals to 2 in the quarter, Melbourne's way. Big tackle, Cozzy Pickett. in the middle on Nick Watson. That's what we came to see. Ball spits out. Rivers kicks to half forward and an intercept mark for Hardwick. We're now in time on in this third term. It's a 4-goal advantage for the Hawks. Hardwick goes back to Ryan. Kicks in the middle of the ground for Hawthorn to Ward. Told to play on. Sparrow goes at him under pressure. Hand pass goes back to Ryan. Handball back to Ward. Melbourne well set up. Kicks laterally across the ground and finds Morrison, who keeps it moving back to Ward.
Ward kicks inside 50 for Hawthorn and Jack. Intercept marks, back pocket. Little score there. Chankoth Jath, who's had a wretched run with soft tissue injuries. Ooh.
That's cramp.
Yeah, it looks like me running around the tan there as he ambles away with it and kicks up to the wing, bounces off the hands of the pack, and at ground level, gathered by D'Ambrosio, who chips it short. Hawthorn with some go forward. Lewis steps his man on the mark. He'll look deep inside 50. Can't find a target. Bouncing ball, and Gawn will get there first.
The big man gets all the way down. Ground ball win. Handball away to Rivers. Gives it to Turner. Kicks up to the wing. Seagulls spread. Picked up by Latrell Pickett, who's off and running. 2 bounces. He tries to take on Amon, and he's caught. Tried to do a little too much, Latrell, and Carl Amon came and got him with the veteran moves.
Well, he was dawdling, Carl Amon.
He was.
Kick back inboard from Amon. Eventually gets to Impey. Away go the Hawks. Advantage applied. Impey into an open forward line. Down to the Wizard. Watson got away from Tolstrup and takes the mark in a one-on-one. And the Wizard just edges his direct opponent underneath the footy. He'll shoot from 25 out straight in front.
Latrell is just sometimes, again, doesn't all have to be brilliant and special, does it? Just the basics. They had one-on-ones ahead of the footy. He had Cozzy, didn't he, deep one-on-one. Just get the ball in deep, and it's amazing how quickly it's just gone straight down the other end.
To Spready's dust on this game. Nick Watson sneaks it through. That's his second and keeps the Hawks in touch. 23 gone in the third. 8-6 to 11-6. It's an 18-point lead for the Narm Demons. This is Saturday footy on ABC Sport, late Q3.
You just feel like with Latrell Pickett, every possession he gets, he wants it to be a highlight.
Yeah.
Look, that'll come out of his game. That'll come out of his game, no doubt. He's a first-year player. But, yeah, I think anybody's foundations of their games have got to be doing the fundamentals well. Now, he had a lead coming at him, but he wanted to come back inside. Now, Carl Amon was just dawdling. He was dawdling after that tackle, and because Latrell gave him the opportunity to close space, in the end, well, it was an easy tackle. But again, Hawthorn's ball movement down the other end, they score.
A restart in the middle. Gawn paddles it down to himself. McKenzie goes in for Hawthorn. Gets rid of it to Huswaite, to Newcombe, to Amon. Off half-back, through the middle of the ground. Kicks into the attacking 50 and Turner. Sells a little bit of Canyon. Emerges with it for Melbourne. He'll kick up to half-forward. Fritsch goes up. Doesn't come down with it. Sicily caught. Might have been caught holding the ball. Fritsch runs away with it. Half-forward for Melbourne. Kicks to full-forward. Gets back. Again. Punches it through. Saves the day for the Hawks. Melbourne by 19.
Yeah, really good job in EP.
In the back pocket. Morrison marks and goes short with his kick. In the path of Ryan. In his second game. Spots up Amon, who marks at centre-half back. Lays it off by hand to Impey. Hawks running out of the D50. Margin is 19. The D's way through the corridor. It's not clean, but it got to Huswaite. Had a little fumble at a critical moment. Scooped up by Newcombe. His hand pass swatted back in the other direction. D's on through the middle. Cozzy with the 1-2. Tries to paddle it on a second time. Still no clean collect. Pickett knocks it on again, but straight to Newcombe. Hawthorn back the other way. Gives it to Amon, and the kick's a turnover. The mark taken by Howes. Defensive side of the centre square.
Sharp's on here.
Long kick to Langford. Langford looks into an open forward 50, turns it over cold. Battle in the perfect teasing distance. Drops back, takes the intercept mark.
And he shorts it away to Jarman Impey. 40 out from his defensive goal. Handball to Battle. Battle kicks out very wide. 2-on-1 there for the Hawks, and D'Ambrosio has shown his capabilities upstairs in recent weeks. Takes a nice overhead mark. Moves it over the top to Mackenzie. Backward of the logo. Southern side of the ground. Shorts it again to McDonald. Connor McDonald in game 100 with his good mate Jack Ginnivan. Melbourne by 19 points. Driving kick inside 50 from McDonald. Reeves a hand on it. Ramsden there as well. Tolstrup ends up with it. Ramsden tackles him to ground. Ray Chamberlain.
As you see the Hawks start to play a bit of tempo footy, there's a lot of work getting done on the calves, on the interchange benches. The players come off that trip back from Perth, starting to take a toll, I think.
Only one win in the last 4 for teams returning from Perth the next week. From the restart, Huswaite squeezes a kick forward, puts it out on the full.
It's still warm down there, Chamber, although I noticed you put the jumper on. You put the guns away.
Poor choice.
With the black tank top on before. Hence all the autographs, I would have thought. But little temperatures dropped a little bit, obviously.
Still a beautiful 20.6 degrees down here. It's a poor choice. I'm sweating it up.
Here's Lever, last line of defence. Been the D's quarter. Take some sting out of it late here. Short kick to Ed Langdon. Generally, we've only seen them in one mode, Melbourne, haven't we? Their best form of defence is ordinarily more attack. Long kick down the wing. Jefferson flies, no mark. Spills down to Connor McDonald. Hand pass back into dispute. Jefferson bobs up again. Kicks in the middle of the ground. Things open up for Chandler. Chandler kicks inside an open forward 50.
Latrell.
2-on-1 Melbourne. Fritsch has got it. Fritsch to the mouth of goal. And Latrell screaming for it. Fritsch had a shot from the right forward pocket. Misses near side. And they weren't on the same page there. A certain goal goes begging.
He saw it. Did he have to see?
No doubt he saw it. No doubt.
D's by 20, 28 gone in the third.
Yeah, that's not good enough by Bailey Fridge.
One of your under-16s did that tomorrow, Ramo. What would you say?
Come off, son.
Come on. Come and have a rest. Think about what you did. Get back out there.
It's just a little Joe the Goose.
Hawks looking to work it down the Warren wing, but D'Ambrosio, a bit of the fumbles. Under pressure there, and it goes out. Throw in on the Shane Warren wing.
Young Cross, well done. They're just getting good little contributions from these role players, Melbourne. Cross, Laurie, Mitchell Tholstrup, Sharp.
Melbourne by 20, closing in on three-quarter time. Gawn slapping it down. Still scrapping after it. Reeves beats him to it. That's Ned Reeves. And then coming through Newcomb. So a Hawthorn ball, little 1-2 with more. Through the logo goes Newcomb.
2 bounces. Now kicks inside a forward 50. Again with a bit of space in it. Knocked away by Lever. Ball hits the deck. Howes comes up with a dear good tackle. Hand pass picked off. Connor McDonald turns, collects, runs, snaps, goals. One in his milestone game. And Connor McDonald goes and celebrates with Jack Ginnivan also in his 100th. And Hawthorn with a critical goal moments before three-quarter time. Deficit back to 14. Manam Demons 11-8-74. Hawthorn 9-6-60. 29 gone third term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
It just kills you up the other end, Bally. You know, Stephen King, he wants his players to play with flair and attack and a free spirit. But when you miss one, an easy one that should have been a goal to Nam, and then the ball goes up the other end and score, they're the ones that hurt. They hurt really badly, and particularly so late in the quarter as well when you've worked so hard. But what is it, 5 goals to 4 now, so it just evens up again this game.
Difference between them going up by 4 goals.
Yeah.
Genuine 2-goal turnaround.
Yeah. And now leading by 14. In the middle.
So the reality of that is now Bailey Fritsch owes him a goal.
Yep.
He's got to go and work hard and find how to get on the scoreboard.
Gawn taps it down, plays some volleyball. Melbourne emerge with the footy. Sparrow hit a 720, handballed it to Bowie. Goes back towards Gawn, who rushes a kick up to half forward for the D's. Punched on by Jefferson. Beautifully. Doesn't break stride Langford and snaps the goal. That is special. Harvey Langford reinstates a 20-point lead for the D's. He's got a couple. 12-8-8, he plays 9-6-60, 30 minutes into the third term. What about Jefferson's punch?
Well, it's a work in the middle early.
Yeah, Gawn.
It's chaos in the middle of the ground there. Gawn's involved. Jake Bowie's involved. So, really important contest to win. Otherwise, it's going Hawthorn's way. That ball gets inside forward 50. Really well done by Jefferson.
I reckon he saw him.
Yeah, really
high
really well
footy
done.
IQ.
Yeah. And he's just class. Harvey Langford's just class. I think when this kid eventually, he's got to be a full-time midfielder at some stage, Harvey Langford, but geez, he's making a good fist of it as a winger at the moment.
What a year he's put together. He's now got 13 goals in 10 games. He's a genuine winger, Harvey Langford. Out of the middle, Gawn gets it down to Steele. Another man who's had a great year in new colours, kicks to half forward. And Steele's kick a turnover. Impey marks on the back flank. Margins at 20. Hawks no Barris, no Gunston. Coming back from Perth. And the Demons are giving them all they can handle. The D's undefeated here at the G this year. Perfect 5-0. Short kick to Battle. Battle goes long down in the Kelshire direction. He flew from the back, not to be. Falls to Steele. D's back the other way. Bowie to Ed Langdon. Handball missed. Tolstrup wasn't expecting it. He wins it back. Intercepts the Ginnivan handball. And the D's eventually get it moving out to the northern side. Bowie long kick to Jefferson, who marks on the wing. 20-point lead for the Narm Demons late in the third.
Well, shut it down now. A little sigh of relief for Ed Langdon there. Tolstrup just saving the day. Impressive this from the Demons.
And that is the end of a 6-goal quarter for the D's. 6 goals to 4, and after leading by 6 points at three-quarter time, the Narm Demons are 20 points up at the final change. 12-8-80, they lead Hawthorn 9-6-60. The goal kickers, Harrison Petty's got 3. They all came before the 10-minute mark in the second term. 2 each for Harvey Langford and for Matt Jefferson, and then singles for Van Rooyen, Langdon, Laurie, Fritsch and Keziah Pickett. Meanwhile for Hawthorn, 2 each for Mitch Lewis and Nick Watson, and then singles for Morrison, Moore, McDonald, Weddle and Ramsden. Fun quarter of footy. We've had 5 lead changes, all of them in the first half. And Melbourne on a couple of occasions got it out to 4 goals. Hawthorn pegged it back to get within spitting distance on a couple of occasions before the D's with the last goal of the quarter to lead by 20. In other sports, the Sydney Roosters trail against the North Queensland Cowboys. So first half action there, the Cowboys 18-6. Leaders at the moment in the NRL. Earlier today, the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles way too good for the West Tigers. So 46-18 full time there. In the A-League Women's Grand Final being played at Amy Park, just gone full time. Melbourne City are your champions, unsurprisingly. So 3-1 over the Wellington Phoenix. Well done to the Melbourne City girls who prevailed there. And earlier today in the AFL, it was a win for the Crows by 68 points. They did a job on North Melbourne. The thoughts of Bawley and Rammer coming up in just a moment. Plus, there's still a game to come. Saturday footy of round 10. It is Carlton under their new caretaker coach up against the Western Bulldogs. We'll tell you more about that next. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
This is going to be quite a ride.
Every dream restoration starts with something worth holding on to.
We were in love. We figured we'd work it out.
Restoration Australia.
This is magnificent.
Back May 21 on ABC TV and ABC iView.
On ABC Local Radio, Sport Digital, and on ABC Listen. This is Sir Doug Nichols Round with ABC Sport.
Steele, 60 out from home. It's long to full forward. They've got the numbers down there going after it. Jefferson hits the deck. Laurie snaps and goes. It's all happening at the MCG for Laurie B. Melbourne by 18 points.
Hawthorn back with it. Impey took him on and lost. Great chase down tackle from Fritsch. Fritsch goes short with the kick and Steele drops in the hole at left half forward to mark. Fritsch wants it back. Receives. Left footer on the run. Bailey Fritsch. Superb. The sharpshooter. Kick back inboard from Amon. Eventually gets to Impey. Away go the Hawks. Advantage applied. Impey into an open forward line. Down go the Wizard. Watson. Got away from Tolstrup and takes the mark. To Spready's dust on this game. Nick Watson sneaks it through. That's his second. Ball hits the deck. Howes comes up with a dig. Good tackle. Hand pass picked off. Connor McDonald turns, collects, runs, snaps, goals. One in his milestone game.
Bowie goes back towards Gawn, who rushes a kick up to half forward for the D's. Punched on by Jefferson. Beautifully. Doesn't break stride Langford and snaps the goal. That is special. Harvey Langford reinstates a 20-point lead for the D's.
This is Sir Doug Nichols Round on ABC Local Radio. Sport Digital, and on ABC Listen.
We got a good one going here at the MCG. It is the Narm Demons by 20 over Hawthorn as Sir Doug Nicholls' round rolls on, round 10 of the AFL Premiership season. Our next stop, just across town, under the roof at Docklands, it is Carlton and the Western Bulldogs, the Blues under their new caretaker coach Josh Fraser. And Matt Clinch is heading up the call for us. Clinchy.
Corby, the 8th consecutive loss was the decision that Michael Voss was departing, and as you said, Josh Fraser takes over, so 1 win and 8 losses, trying to string 4 quarters together. Jack Isom, pick 47 from 2025, becomes Carlton's first NGA debut and their 5th at AFL level this season. He's the 6th leading goal scorer in the VFL with 16 goals, 7, and the nephew of Australian rapper Senator Briggs. Well, the Western Bulldogs, they hung on for a much-needed victory against Port Adelaide last week to snap their 4-game losing streak, but they were unable to avoid more injuries. So Tim English is out. They get Lobb back from a hamstring injury. Emmett and Davidson are the other 2 players who come back in. So a challenge once more for the banged-up Dogs. It will be Carlton who finally get their circuit breaker. All to come on Saturday night alongside Nathan Burke and Brett Harvey, Lauren Borden and Poppy Penny on the boundary. It's the Blues taking on the Bulldogs. After you guys.
Thanks, Clinchy. Looking forward to that. Blues Dogs to come tonight. Fair bit to happen here yet, Ram, in the next 30 minutes. Melbourne by 20.
Well, I still think there's a bit to play out in this game. Hawthorn, Melbourne clearly had the better of that quarter, but Hawthorn just found a way to hang in there with 4 goals, and the 4 goals were really on rebound. So just transition, execution with ball movement, and off they went, whereas Melbourne did the hard work in that quarter. So whether it was forward pressure, whether it was defending behind the ball. So Bailey Fritsch, we speak about him being selfish and not giving that handball, but he's had a terrific quarter. He's had 9 possessions and kicked the goal and had 4 score involvements. So, but it's just those little moments that you look at, and that's what you remember from the quarter with Bailey Fritsch. You don't remember the other good stuff that he did. Like Hawthorn, they're overcommitting their run from defence. Like there's too many defenders going and not enough defenders staying. Now, usually Barras is back there with Josh Battle and they can look after it. But Battle's having to do a lot of that by himself. And we mentioned Disco Turner. He had a terrific quarter there behind the ball.
So is that personnel or is that a leadership void?
Personnel.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, well, when you got Sicily, Weddle, Impey, Amon, all 4 of them that just want to go.
Right.
You got to weigh that up and go, well, we can't all go. Well, some of us have to stay back and help Josh.
Well, and you're just looking at Sam Mitchell. I just wonder at what stage and which of the magnets gets spun here in the last quarter. We see him do that.
Well, who's going to win the game for Hawthorn?
Yeah, so is it Weddle? Does he go forward? Yeah. Is it Sicily? Does he go forward? And they go 1 short ahead of the ball.
You think about who they picked too. So Huswaite, Deere, Morrison, McGuinness comes in. There's no like-for-like replacement there for Barras. So it's been an interesting element, him being absent in that back half. No Gunston, no Barras. The Narm Demons by 20 points, trying to keep their perfect record here at the G intact as we start this final term. Meek wins the hit out, but he's opposing ruckman. Big Max Gawn comes up with it, kicks inside 50, punched away from Jefferson at the drop. Sharp, handball away to Chandler. He kicks the full forward. Petty trying to hold out his direct line and it'll slide through. Chandler from outside 50. New game high early in the final term. And the Narm Demons are still growing. It's up to 26 points. The D's lead, 13-8-86. Hawthorn 9-6-60. We're only 30 seconds into the final term.
Big Gord again, wasn't it? And it's what we spoke about at half-time, didn't we? So Heath goes down. Look, he's still out there. He's still, there to play a relief role. But it's almost like Max has said, righto, this is my time. This is my moment. No more relieving me forward. Get me into the middle. It's where I do my best work. Beautiful clearance.
So the problem with that right there, Bally, is that's Weddle's direct opponent in Kade Chandler. Before the ball's won by Hawthorn, he's already looking to go on the offensive. So Melbourne win the ball. The handball slides out of the handball release backwards. But Weddle's already thinking offense rather than defense.
He's some sort of a year, Chandler. He's another one who's really improved his game. 12th goal for the year.
Meek wins the tap down. Gawn gets it though. Turns it over with the handball and a kick from McKenzie up to half forward. Deere doesn't take the mark. Ross goes in for the D's. On their back flank here, the Demons. Handball back to Gawn. Time to stop, prop and kick up to the wing. Marking contest. Sicily might have given a little shove. Ends up with the footy. He's tackled to ground and I think the mark was paid anyway.
Might have been a late whistle, though, which cost Sicily being
good umpiring.
ragdolled into the ground. Sicily's going to retreat with the kick, go all the way back to Impey. 2 minutes into the final term, 26-point advantage for the D's. Kick to centre half back, finds Dylan Moore trying to find a way through. Oh, short kick for Amon, takes a sprawling mark. Back edge of the centre square, gets up, goes, short kick. Ward. D's well set up, still in their back half. Hand pass away to Impey. Impey now the long kick forward. McGuinness running back with the flight, takes the mark. Found a bit of space to lead into. Bowie ain't happy as he balks on the mark, trying to jump out after the framed kick from McGuinness. Now he's going to go back and have a shot. And Finn McGuinness, we haven't seen him since the Collingwood draw. Had 15 and was dropped there. Didn't make the trip to Perth. Tight angle here. 5 in from the boundary line. 45 metres out. Kick won't score. It'll stay alive in the forward pocket. Ends up top of the goal square. Spills to Guinea. Shakes a tackle. Got a handball away. Picked up by Chandler. His kick picked off. Guinea running around with his strides down by his knees. Picked up in the end by Chandler and a clearing kick up to the wing.
Bouncing ball. Battle the first to get there. His handball a turnover though. Jefferson releases sharp and he's off and running. This is his strength. Through the attacking edge of the square. Eyes the goals. Misses right. It just skips through the right-hand side. Melbourne by 27 points, and Sharp trying to continue that goal streak. One of 10 players to have kicked one every game this year. Not yet tonight.
Dangerous kick coming out of defence from the Hawks. They work it out. More away to Ward and now to McKenzie. Hand pass back to Amon under pressure. Goes all the way back to Newcomb. And got it at left half back. Wants to try and switch play. Goes all the way back to Battle. It's an urgent game, Australian rules football. It's obviously the next thing's not far away, but even Guinea didn't have a chance to pull up his dacks. Running around with his strides down around his knees. Still fighting on, trying to win possession inside 50. Hawthorn work it down the wing. D'Ambrosio trying to draw the man on the mark with the stand rule. D'Ambrosio long kick inside 50 and Lever with Turner rather with the intercept.
Just dominated the air, haven't they really, Melbourne? Across the whole game. Both at all ends of the ground. Been so impressed with Turner's game. Well supported by Lever behind the footy. The bomb's not working for Hawthorn inside 50. They've really got to find shorter options, lower their eyes.
Melbourne by 27. Short kick from Turner to Jath and onto Pickett. Melbourne by 27 points. 4.5 minutes into the fourth as Pickett goes back to Turner.
This is smart now. You talk about Hawthorn coming back, long trip, hot day today. They've got the lead. Just make Hawthorn defend.
It's on to Bowie, and Bowie sends the D's up to the wing. Marking contest, Ward, sprawling mark. Hawthorn in possession again on the wing, members side of the ground.
Wow. Ward, that's a stinker. Trying to straighten up, turns it over. Petty takes the intercept mark, and now 50. No one stood. And this will be 50 metres. Well, Harry Morrison was in the protected area, did not stand. He followed his direct opponent, and that will cost you 50.
Oh, I don't think that should be one. I think if you're not contesting the mark, you should be free to go.
Completely disagree.
Well, that's nothing new with us.
Ray Chamberlain is down there on the boundary's edge. What'd you make of that, Ray?
I just think that if Ben want to take up some creative riding, he can do that, or we can all just follow the laws of the game as they've been laid out for the season, Benny boy.
Yeah, goosebumps. Choose your own adventure, Ray.
It was
short 50.
It was pretty clear. I think it is too. But 50 was up on the wing, and now he's having a shot from about 30 metres out. Petty to make it 4. He misses.
All don't like, or
in the end, he's lucky to score.
I'm not debating the law either, Ray. Just the writing of it, not the adjudicating of it.
Ray Chamberlain.
In other news, though, Ben, Jarman Impey's come to the interchange bench, getting his right leg heavily strapped.
Why are you so nice to me off air and so mean to me on air, Ray?
D's by 28, 6 gone final term.
It's better for the listeners, isn't it?
Just a full guy of the team.
He's a performer. Ball up in the middle, Melbourne by 28. Meek slaps it to the outside. Players in pursuit on the logo of the wing, slapped on there by Cross. Weddle and Latrell Pickett. Latrell Pickett just bundles Weddle out of the way, slaps it onto Cross. Cross's handball goes forward for the Hawks, and it's picked up by Husway. On the logo, he'll kick up towards half forward. Launching the Wizard, he got mightily high, doesn't come down with the footy. Lewis is there. Ramsden too. Hawks at half forward. Newcomb goes in, slips the tackle. Retreating now. Running back into the middle of the MCG,
Newcomb, clever kick. Dylan Moore finds some space, just out of reach. Moore in the pocket. Hand pass inside to the Wizard. He's tackled, he's scored, holding the ball. Cozzy Pickett wins that battle. And the Pickett pocket gets the nod over the Wizard Bay.
That was just a classic tackle there by Cozzy Pickett. Drop the shoulder and then hang on. Nick Watson wanted to run through it. Good luck.
2 blocks at the G. Blocked out for those 2 individuals this afternoon. The clearing kick, though, picked off. Weddle goes all the way back with the kick to Hardwick. Switches across the ground to Battle. Short kick to Morrison, just over halfway. Hawks chasing the game. It's the D's by 28.
Morrison back to Battle. Driving ball to full forward. Pack forms through the hands of Cross, and the ball goes out. Right as the Hawks were about to arrive.
Big fan of this Bay stuff. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Little nod to both players. And
finding it hard to score here, the Hawks, aren't they?
Bay 13 virtually empty as well. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Hawthorn just can't find a consistent winner inside their forward 50.
Throw in forward pocket. Meek and Gorn both with hands on it. Coming through Watson. Out to Ginnivan. Stop. Prop. Snap. Miss. Sent one of the D's defenders in Tolstrup sprawling. Trying to smother. Couldn't quite finish the deed. Guinea. Melbourne by 27. 8 played in this fourth.
D's win this, they'll leapfrog Hawthorn on the table. They'll go half a game ahead of them. 27 points the margin. Bowie takes some ground, goes long up to the wing. Offhand spills to Chandler. Handball away to Sparrow. Hooks a kick over the body. Ryan got separation, couldn't complete the mark. Battle ends up with it, gives it to Hardwick and then gets it back. Battle's kick into the middle of the G. Misguided, collected by Howes, who's off and running. Arches the back, the 1-2 with the Latrell Pickett. Now the kick inside 50 and Cozzy Pickett on the end of the line takes the mark in the left forward pocket.
That's outstanding by Blake Howes. Just attack the football, attack the loose football inside the centre. Gets a handball, another one back, then delivers inside forward 50.
Had a good day.
Yeah.
16 possessions.
How sweet this would be for Cozzy. In front of the Wizard Bay. Melbourne's own Magic Man. Cozzy Pickett knocks it through. And this game's just about out of hand. 33 points is the D's advantage. Cozzy's got a couple. And the Narn Demons now 14-10-94. Hawthorn 9-7-61. 10 gone in the final term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
He just wanted the footy, didn't he? Just made it his, Blake Howes. And it's been the order of the day from these Demons players. And just been so impressed by, we've said it a few times now, these role players, these players that are working hard to find their spot in the team, have all played like that today. And Howes is the latest example of it there. And then Cozzy, who's had a tough day, we know that, in terms of finding time and space. Hasn't done a heap of the footy, 13 possessions, but since quarter time, he's really worked hard, hasn't he? And it's funny, you lay the big tackle down this end of the ground, and you get your reward down the other end of the ground.
He taps it down. Sparrow receives it. Forward handball for Melbourne. Steele stepping through traffic. He'll kick high to full forward for Melbourne. Marking contest. No one marks. Fritsch roves, though. Gets a handball out. Sharp, he goes. The streak's alive. And Melbourne, maybe we need to rethink what they are in 2026. 15-10-100. Plays 9-7-61. 11 into the fourth. Rummer and Borley.
Well, you go back to the centre bounce. Jack Steele just enormous there. A ground ball get, hard ball get, whatever you want to call it. He made that football his own, Jack Steele. So he's so unassuming in this team. I saw Jack Viney at half-time in the Melbourne room. It's going to be interesting when he is available, Jack Viney, and what they do. So, but this Melbourne team look good. They look good. They've got so many more contributors now.
Yeah.
That reliance that they had on Petrarca and Oliver through the midfield for so long, it's simply gone.
Yeah, they're tough, aren't they? They've been a bit harder than the Hawks today, has to be said. That was Fritsch wanting the footy, setting up with a goal assist. Terrific.
7th time this year they've kicked 100 points in 11 games. One other occasion they kicked 99. Sparrow out of the middle, another forward 50 entry, offhand spills to Jefferson, pokes the kick to Van Rooyen, he can walk it in. It's all fun and games for the Demons. Van Rooyen's got a couple and the party is ongoing for the Narn Demons. 16-10-106, Hawthorn 9-7-61. Are we in blowout mode? It's up to 45 points.
No, we're in blowout mode for sure now. So we knew with the outs that Hawthorn had coming into this game, it was going to be tough, but they're making Hawthorn look pedestrian now in this last quarter. The run again, centre bounce ball in.
Yeah, well, not pretty, isn't it? Just it's simple sometimes, isn't it? Centre bounce, Sparrow wins it. Long kick forward, get the contest. Fritsch again, been really impressed by him. And then Jefferson, high footy IQ, Matty Jefferson. Could have blazed away. Yep. Great vision. Popped it over the top. Van Rooyen, easy goal.
Back in the middle. Fighting after it. Sparrow dispossessed. Steele again. 22nd disposal for him. Leads all of the D's. Ricochets out towards the wing. Right. Sharp gets a handball moving forward, or he doesn't really. Called for a throw. The free kick will come back and it will go to Finn McGuinness. Melbourne by 45 points, 13 minutes into this final term.
ABC AFL Daily is the place for your footy conversation, wherever you get your podcasts, 5 episodes a week. And on Thursdays, we do a round preview with Brett Delidio. We've got a little segment called Super Dogs. Going to pick an underdog of the week, and the more the underdog wins by, the more points you score. Brett Delidio has taken the D's as his underdog this week, so
not good.
The points that he gets is the winning margin. So at the moment, it's looking like 45 points, plus 5 for the cover play. So there's a little shake-up to our competition, but ABC AFL Daily, wherever you get your podcasts.
If you're not listening to all 5, you're missing out too. 5 a week, you gotta hit all 5. Very different flavours to each of them.
Hawks with it. Centre half back, a long way down in this game, 45 points is the deficit at the moment for Hawthorn. As Battle sends it out to half forward, spills through towards McGuinness, hand pass over his shoulder to Sicily. Sicily looks inside the attacking arc, they come from all directions. Well, trying to rip it down, is the mark going to be paid? It is. The Moose, Max Heath at half back, with his mentor Max gone, you get him back in defensive 50 and taking a neat intercept mark.
Goes back to Lever and into the pocket for Chankwath Chiath. And he lifts his kick out of the defensive 50 for Laurie. Melbourne kicking it around this member's wing. Forward of the centre line now for Cross. He lifts the handball over the top to Sparrow, who's run on. He can do the same. Chandler, high half forward, has men in the corridor. Looks further afield towards full forward. 3 Ds are there. No one can mark. Sicily does well in the end, and the Hawks come up with it. Fullback. Ginnivan to McDonald, to D'Ambrosio, who runs through the corridor.
Some indecision, not a heap of options up ahead. Sweeps a hand pass to Lewis, still inside the centre square. Dabs a kick inside 50, wrong foot's Ramsden. And another turnover. And Melbourne with a heap of numbers back for support. Turner goes on a little run himself. 2 bounces, kicks laterally and finds Ed Langdon. And this has been a day for the Demons. Ben posed the question, does it make you rethink what the D's are capable of with another big scalp and now a perfect 6-0 record?
Yeah, absolutely.
At the
G.
I've
been so impressed. Just it's the way they've gone about it too. So stout in defence and miserly. Their pressure's been enormous. It's a Hawthorn team that are hard to tackle at times, Rammer, and just their role players like we've spoken about. I'm just getting such a great even contribution across the ground.
Ed Langdon kicks down to half forward. Jefferson takes a mark as the pack collapses behind him between wing and half forward. Jefferson to full forward with the kick. Van Rooyen's out the back. Offhand spills to the Melbourne key forward. Got a hand pass out. Sharp does the rest. And says, get up off your feet to the MCC members. The D's in victory mode again at the MCG. 51 points in favour of the Narn Demons. 17-10-1-12. Hawthorn flat-footed, 9-7-61. 17 gone in the final term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Well,
Sweet Caroline.
Have I missed something here? Is this
blasting
made its way down from Brisbane with Harry Sharp? It's just work rate for him, Rammer. Yeah, you watch him, he just keeps running and working, and it's amazing how with modern footy, as the game opens up, fatigue sets in across the rest of the playing group. the guys that can continue to run and present and get to the fall of the ball, get to the contest, just continually get rewarded. And he's one of those players from the Demons that's been doing that this year. It's terrific to see.
6 in a row they've kicked the D's.
6-6-6 warning in the middle. Umpire puts it aloft. Winning it down, Reeves. Back into the rubble, though, and Jack Steele fighting on. I spoke during the week about the fact that Jack Steele, twice an All-Australian in the 2 of the 3 years before Ross Lyon arrived, and his numbers were higher in those years. They dipped in the 3 years he was coached by Ross at St Kilda, and they've spiked again now at Melbourne. Out of the middle, Hawthorn. Bouncing ball inside 50. Picked up by Turner. Handball towards the back flank. Weddle goes in. Weddle gathers. Hawthorn ball half forward. Lewis sweeps it out wide. More running room. Room to steady and goal. A late consolation for the Hawks. And it's back to 45 points. 17-10, 112. Plays 10-7-67. 18 into the fourth.
Well, what's the saying, Benny? One man's trash is another man's treasure. So that's certainly the case with Jack Steele. I said this a couple of weeks ago when we did the Melbourne game, that I'm really surprised that a number of other clubs didn't go after him. He's a captain of a football club, so obviously
good citizen.
Well, high leadership, great person, all the boxes you need. High character, obviously. All the boxes you want to tick in your veterans, and he's not 30.
Puts a lot of pressure on the third-round pick that the Saints got for him in this year's draft. Whoever.
Right, and he's just been the perfect man to fill the void that was left by Oliver and Petrarca, really, isn't he? I think it's just to help this other young midfield. I mean, Caleb Windsor's not out there today.
Colin McDonald gets the first kick out of the middle, down to half forward for the Hawks. D's have this game in their keeping. Turner gives it to Steele right on cue, coughs it up. Ramsden for the Hawks. The 1-2 there with Moore. Ramsden gives it away to McKenzie. Almost ran out of space. Short 2-metre kick. Ramsden goes to ground. Melbourne win the footy.
Yep.
Jaff. Hand pass chopped down. Regathers. Gives it away to Petty, who's now in defence. Hand pass goes back to Howes, who's been good today. Long kick to half-back. Chandler. A tangle there with Morrison. Morrison grabs it, turns it over. Langford took on 2 tacklers. Got it out. Chandler can't collect. Goes to ground. Hawks win it back on halfway. Morrison to Ward.
Morrison gets it onto Huswaite, who backfeeds the handball to Battle. Kicks dangerously into the middle. Look out. Sharp arriving late. Breaks it up from Weddle. Goes again at ground level. So too Weddle. Weddle gathers centre half back for the Hawks. Off to Sicily. Sicily, look out. Caught by Fritsch. He was just faffing about. And Fritsch came and got him. 35 out, as good as directly in front.
Terrific. Yeah. What a re-emergence or is it like Bailey Fritsch's year this year? He's been on record, hasn't he, in saying it, that maybe just the new coach, the new set of eyes on him, he's had to not reinvent himself, but just get back to work. Yeah. Exactly. And a lot of it's been this. We know what he can do with ball in hand in front of the goals, but that's been the most impressive part of his year and game today. His ability to and his desire to do the defensive things.
Left foot drop punt is right through the middle. Just the goal umpire went scurrying to their left.
Well done, Ben. Good
and
save.
It just snuck through.
Very good save.
Melbourne are running up a score on Hawthorn. 18-10, 118, plays 10-7-67. He's got a couple, Bailey Fritsch, 20 minutes into the final term.
So just to finish off on the conversation with Jack Steele, it's my understanding one of the big reasons why St Kilda were happy to see him go is they played their games at the Docklands, their home games at the Docklands. And their belief was he just wasn't a good runner. He couldn't run. He couldn't cover the ground at the Docklands when there was real speed on the game. Now, Melbourne play their home games at the MCG, so a bit more expansive.
They also recruited Jack McRae.
Don't shoot the messenger here, Colt. Don't shoot the messenger. That's my understanding of why they were happy to let him go.
51 points. The Demons lead has gone, grabs it out of the middle. Hand pass away to Rivers. High up and under to centre half forward and picked off by Amon.
But when there's nothing wrong with your attitude, character, you're captain of the football club.
Yeah. Amon down the wing, out the back. Dylan Moore runs onto it, kicks inside 50. Jaff knocks it away, but straight to Guinea, closed down. Nice bit of pressure in all of that from Laurie. Ball bobbles out. Centre half forward for the Hawks. Laurie goes in again, knocks it free, but straight to Newcomb. Hawthorn with it. Handball to McDonald. Handball to Ward. Ward trying to dish it off. In the end, he's got to kick it laterally. Got it to Weddle, but on the half volley, who marks hand pass away to Morrison.
Morrison, centering kick towards full forward. Up goes Gawn off his hands. Ramsden, the big man roving. It's
going to work.
Shanks in snap, but it might work out for D'Ambrosio. Gathers in the pocket, threads the eye of the needle. Nice finish. Back to 45 points the margin. 18-10, 118, plays 11-7-73. 23 minutes into the fourth. Adam Ramanauskas and Luke Ball.
Well, what this shows me with Hawthorn is some teams, some good teams, can really, when good players are not playing, the depth comes in and they can carry it. Shows with Hawthorn, when their good players are out and their depth is tested, they come right back to the field. Right back to the field. So there's a bit to work on here for Sam Mitchell and what he does and how he recalibrates this team, because since half time they've looked all at sea.
68,557.
Good crowd. Great crowd.
3/4 full. Back in the middle. Comes down towards McKenzie. Got a hand pass away, but too late. Caught. Didn't dispose of it properly in the Laurie tackle. And game's open right up here in the concluding stages. Now he gives it to Rivers. Kicks out in front of Sparrow. And avoids the contact with Ryan to mark it true centre half forward for the D's.
He's been a good contributor, Tom Sparrow. You look at the stat sheet, Rama. This has been the strength of the team. We've spoken about the evenness and the contribution at certain times throughout the game from nearly all their players across the ground. This will be Tom Sparrow's 23rd possession.
Well, I was just thinking Trent Rivers, who I had to look. He's had 21 possessions. I feel like we haven't called him very often
back into the team
tonight at all.
9 of those hand passes.
Missed those hand passes, Claude.
He's Sparrow at centre half forward. His kick sails away to the right and the behind. So the D's, they're going to be 7-3. They're going to own a loss to Sydney, a loss to Fremantle, no shame in that, and then bizarrely that loss to Essendon in gather round. But they'll go past the Hawks. They'll go half a game clear of them on the table.
What's their next 4?
Stand by.
I can tell you that, Rama. 1 second.
There's Western Bulldogs at Docklands.
Winnable.
GWS in Alice Springs.
Winnable.
Collingwood on the King's birthday.
Winnable.
Essendon at the G.
Winnable.
Start favourite in all of those on this form.
And Adelaide before the bye, the last of that run.
Moore kicks a high up and under, going up on the wing. McKenzie, lots of it, doesn't quite hold it. Ball spits out to Moore again. Hawthorn ball, McDonald loops a handball to the runner Ward, through the middle. Handball onto Moore, he'll kick inside 50, and Watson hits up at the footy.
Done a good
Marks
job.
On his chest, 40 out.
Done a good job, Tholstrup. So, where are we here with Nick Watts? He's had 7 possessions. This will be for goal number 3, but just not as lively.
Yeah. Well, and part of that, I think, and he would say, like the pressure on the ball across the day has been terrific. That time, obviously, with the sting out of the game, hard to stop that.
Nick Watson, his drop punt, no trouble for him. A third of the evening, and it's 40 points neat. 18-11, 119, plays 12-7-79. 3.5 minutes of game time remaining. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Well, we've spoken about it. We just haven't seen enough of that, have we, across the course of the night? They've been too bomby, played it in the hands of this Melbourne defence, who have been terrific, really. But the odd occasion where they've been able to work the ball through via hands to a player into that launch zone and lower their eyes and hit a target coming back at the footy. You see here Nick Watson, that's just great forward craft again. Not a lot that Tholstrup could do about that. Dylan Moore, I mean, he's been Hawthorn's best. He's been superb. 26 possessions for him, 10 score involvements and 2 goals.
Gawn and Meek to go at it. Meek leaps up, rips it down, coughs it up. Sparrow, hand pass away to Steele. He kicks inside the forward 50. Chandler the target over his head. Weddle collects. Free kick in all of this. It's going to come back to Weddle, who was taken high. Interesting look ahead for Hawthorn too. So short kick to Morrison, short kick to Moore. They've got the short week. And they're down to the Apple Isle to play on Thursday night against the Crows, who will be feeling good about themselves, I'm sure, after their 11-goal-plus win today against North Melbourne. It was a thrilling game last year, albeit a low-scoring affair and freezing temperatures. The Hawks have worked it down to half forward. We've got a ball up. One down in front of Sparrow, who's tackled. Taken to ground, got the hand pass out. Langford to Langdon. Handball away to Bowie. Handball to Latrell Pickett. Just whacks it further afield. Cross. Collects. Coughs it up. Hawks back the other way. Eamon trying to give it away to Moore, who wasn't looking. Eamon goes and collects. Drives a kick goalward, and it's going to be marked on the behind line. No, it's not. It's going to be knocked through for a minor score. You can put it in the book for Carl Amon, and Melbourne's lead is 59 points, 27.5 gone final term.
So Tolstrup will take the kick in. Going to be a big win for Melbourne. As Corbin said, they'll leapfrog Hawthorn on the ladder. Tolstrup, long for Gawn, who hits the deck hard. Goes in again while he's down there at ground level, and the ball up will come. Baker Van Rooyen coming to the bench. And some love from the Melbourne faithful. All up on the wing. Looking it down, Gawn straight to Langford. Whistle off the plate. The umpire 80 metres away, I think, has paid that one. Free kick will end up going the way of McKenzie and Hawthorn. Playing out the last couple of minutes here. McKenzie sets it up inside 50, looking for a marker. Gawn gets back, drops the mark. Turner at ground level. Handball knocked away into the mark. Deere can't gather it. The Wizard Watson can. He snaps but misses right. Melbourne lead by 38. 28.5 minutes travelled, fourth term.
So guys to come back for Hawthorn, Barras, Gunston, Chol, Day, Nash, all not too far away. Barras the longest of those 3 to 5 weeks with the hammy. There's a chance Will Day will play VFL next weekend. Hope to come back AFL round 13. That's the aim at this stage. But Melbourne's an interesting conversation too, which we touched on. Windsor, what role does Viney have to play if and when he gets back? Salem with the foot 2 to 3. Mycheck still 3 away. Melksham was playing some good footy before he went down. Xavier Lindsay was a high pick last year. He's going to miss 2 to 4. And the only one they really won't get back is Cully, who's out with a knee complaint. Or a knee injury and surgery on that. 38 points the margin. Bit of kick-to-kick late here with a hot minute left in the game. Still to come tonight, Carlton and the Western Bulldogs. We'll see the Blues under their caretaker coach Josh Fraser for the first time. That is coming up next. Good call, guys. Shame the Hawks couldn't get it done. From Mike in Riyadh. Thanks, Mike. Nice to hear from you.
Riyadh. Wow.
Over in Saudi Arabia. That's not a while away. From Borgs. Says, I hope Cozzy told Nick that the only wizard is Jeff Farmer. Cheers, Borgs.
Riyadh, Corb, that's the next frontier of your boxing commentary career, isn't it?
There's a lot going on over there on the fight space.
Sparrow kicking around the wing, and Battle comes up, knuckles it away, bouncing ball. Chandler swoops on it on the logo, kicks up to Cozzy Pickett. Right there with him is McGuinness, and it spills down for McKenzie. Jack Steele knocks it down. Can he finish with a goal? It's offline, but he'll kick on target. And Gawn drops the mark. Ball stays in play. No, it doesn't. It's through for a minor score. So Melbourne lead by 39. 30 minutes travelled, fourth term. Going to be a nice win for Stephen King and his men.
Should have gone to the arc, just for old time's sake, late in the piece. Final 30 seconds of the game. Long kick up the pipe from Battle. Finds Deere. Handball away to Amon. He's going to kick out to the wing for D'Ambrosio. 39 points. Here's the margin as the kick inside the Hawthorn attack in 50 late in the piece. No mark. Slides through to Connor McDonald, who shoots goalward. And no score out on the full. And the MCG Giant Killers claim another scalp. The Narm Demons take down the Hawks by 39. And if you're not already, it's time to pay very close attention to the Demons.
It's the emblem for me and for you. It's the emblem of the team we love, the team of the red and the blue. Every heart beats true for the red and the blue, and we sing this song to you. Should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the red and the blue.
What a performance performance from these Demons. Scores were level at quarter time. The D's led by just 6 at the half. There were 5 lead changes in the first half of footy, and then it was the third quarter where they put their foot down. 6 goals to 4. They led beyond 4 goals on a couple of occasions. The Hawks tried to hang around, but the longer it went, the worse it got for Hawthorn without their fullback and their full forward. Melbourne finishing well and truly over the top. They had it out beyond 50, but the D's win by 39.
It's a grand old flag, it's a high-flying flag. It's the emblem for me and for you. It's the emblem of the team we love, the team of the red and the blue. Every heart beats true for the red and the blue, and we sing this song to you. Should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the red and the blue.
Many people just had them in their own little bracket just beyond the premiership contenders, despite the fact they were 6 and 3 and sitting 7th on the table at the start of the round. They bizarrely own a loss to the lowly Bombers. Other than that, they've dropped games to Sydney and Fremantle. But what about what they have done? They now own wins against the Gold Coast Suns, the 2-time reigning premiers, the Brisbane Lions, and they take down Hawthorn today in what turned out to be an emphatic victory. 39 points the final margin. The D's get it done over the Hawks, 18-12 to 12-9. Luke Paul and Adam Ramanaskas with their take on ABC.
Good call, Corb. And they continue to make this their home ground of fortress. It's going to be hard in 2026, Rama, to come to the MCG and beat the Demons. I was just so impressed today. I must admit, I thought, notwithstanding the trip back from Perth, I just thought the Hawks would just have a bit too much class. But even in the coach's box as well, I hadn't seen a lot of Melbourne live, and but what I saw today from that sort of that role player like we've spoken about throughout the course of the day, just so impressed. But it started with their intensity and their pressure. I thought they just kept that. The Hawks, every now and then they broke through the Hawks, and you saw them at their best in terms of being able to transition the ball with speed from one end of the ground to the other. But more often than not, they were under pressure by a really desperate and committed Melbourne outfit. So, full marks to them. So impressive. You look at their stat sheet. I think the best thing too that they weren't relying on a big game from Cossie Pickett, their superstar, or Gawn, who I thought was really, really good at key moments, especially when Max Heath went down. But just such an even performance. Love Sparrow's game. Steele just keeps on keeping on. Bowie, back into the team, shows why he's so important. But it's players like Chandler, who I think is having a terrific year. I mentioned, Harry Sharp, who's really now become a genuine AFL footballer. Young Howes had another good day. Jefferson starting to really develop before our eyes, and then Langford and young Laurie, continue to improve their game. So you'd be just so thrilled as a Melbourne supporter. You're starting to come along to the games knowing what you're going to get. I think that's that's when you, as you get to the stage where you're a really good football team. That sort of effort week in, week out.
Sorry to jump in before you've even spoken, Rummer, but it feels like what we always quote the Robert Wall saying about, your bottom six and your bottom... It's been long been an adage, obviously, in footy, but it feels like the modern game. Who are your wingers and your half forwards? And it's amazing where you look at the best teams in the competition, when you look at the Brisbane Lions and the Cats or whatever, all of a sudden if you go through Melbourne's wingers and half forwards, you go, gee, they can hang with those
and the
guys.
Hawks are in that mode too. And so they come up against them today. And yes, we spoke about players from Hawthorn that were out, but when you look at it, they're really, the bookends of the ground, weren't they? Both ends of the ground. They had their full complement of those sort of mid-sized forwards and through the middle of the ground. We know Will Day's out, and Connor Nash to an extent, but other than that, they went head-to-head with that group. And I thought, from Hawthorn's point of view, Dylan Moore in particular had a terrific game. I thought he was one of the best players on the ground. But other than that, McKenzie, solid. Ginnivan didn't have a great day. They kept Newcomb pretty well under control, didn't they? And in the end, it was just a weighted numbers performance from the Demons. I thought that will absolutely please their coaching staff and fans alike, Ram.
Well, I thought the Demons' defence was enormous today. So they lost inside 50s by 1, so it was 56 to 57 Hawthorn's way. But I thought Turner was terrific. I thought Jaff was terrific. Bowie, that you mentioned, Blake Howes had a real standout game. Lever really led from the front down there. So what they were able to do, look, you talk about, and the job that Tholstrup did on Nick Watson. Now Watson's finished with 3 goals, but I thought his impact on the game was minimal. Like usually, he's buzzing around, getting up to stoppage and causing a bit of mayhem there. So as Stephen King spoke about, I want you to play with natural flair within our structure. And I think that's what we're seeing with Melbourne, where he's getting best seasons out of players. Now, when you get best seasons out of players, that usually coincides with a great year for the team. So Jack Steele comes to the club, he's having a great game. Tom Sparrow is really back to his best. Chandler is back to his best. Bailey Fritsch is back to his best. Langford's going from strength to strength. Turner going from a forward to a defender. So really getting good years out of players. Harrison Petty, he's a bit hit and miss for me, but today
thought he was great today.
He was a hit.
Loved his intensity.
That's what he was.
Yep. Set it up early, didn't he? And then didn't fill the stat sheet, but I just thought he was a presence all day and loved his contest work, which we don't always see from him. You're right.
Well, I think Jefferson is developing before our eyes. Well, he just looks like he's going to be a 10-year sort of key forward for the Demons. So look, terrific. Well, they 7-3 now. You mentioned Corbell.
7-3.
7-3 with 4 very winnable games. So it could be 11-3 in the next month with then that game against Adelaide just before the bye. So we talk about probably 14 or 15 wins to get a top 4 play. Well, it's more top 6 now, isn't it, to make sure you qualify for a final series. So they're going well. I mentioned late in that quarter, Hawthorn, when you lose certain players, your critical mass of outs adds up. Now, I just thought it did today. Barras, Gunston, bookends, and then Connor Nash, who's the big defensive midfielder that's not in the team. So those 3 guys out of the team really didn't help. But I actually thought today with Hawthorn, it was ball movement or bust, the way they played. So if you look at the combative parts of this game, clearances, Melbourne +6, contested possessions, Melbourne +11, tackles, Melbourne +8. So they're just getting beaten to combat.
Yeah.
And we spoke about how important Jack Steele is to that. 26 possessions, 14 of those contested, 3 tackles, 7 score involvements. So he's had an enormous game from that point of view. It's certainly what Melbourne needed and what they've not what they've been missing, but I think more to have honest, hard-working midfielders rather than the spectacular which they've had in Oliver and Petrarca over the last couple of years. But what they've also been able to create now is multiple options going through the middle of the ground.
It's fast becoming one of these stories of the year.
Yeah.
I think it's been pretty well declared, given you're sitting 7-3 and they're a perfect 6-zip here at the MCG, where the biggest games of all are played. Stephen King, in his first year in charge, of course, he fainted in a job interview when he went over to Perth at the West Coast Eagles. Basically ruled him out of the process and going into to that role.
Then I think he fainted when he came back to Geelong training, didn't he? He didn't faint in the interview.
Correct.
And
but
then,
part of the process.
Gotcha, around that time. And then it felt like, that was going to rule him out of the West Coast job, or at least set him back on that path there. He goes through and wins the job here with some highly credentialed candidates as part of the process, and now he has the team 7-3 in the season. Ray Chamberlain is with the winners. Razor.
Gents, it is absolutely chock-a-block down here. I was asking around. Dale Thomas said to me it is as full as a state school, and they're all pretty happy. Another big win for the Melbourne Demons.
We might hear it a few more times in the season yet. Cade Chandler's got his young one in the song.
Must be said, the only L today, those shorts, just to come back to that I reckon.
That's their only loss. That's their only loss.
I want you to find out if that's a property steward's mistake or if they genuinely thought that was the look to go with today. But it's the only L for the day for the D's.
Would have looked even better if they wore the white shorts or something different, but an unusual from the Demons with a royal blue jumper and the navy blue shorts. But that's what we...
Faux pas.
They play good footy. The jumper looks spectacular, but I think we could probably get some royal blue shorts maybe to match with that. 39 points, the Demons' victory margin. In the end, they climbed to 7-3 and leapfrogged the Hawks. The Hawks now find themselves with another defeat, obviously in the context of the season. 5 lead changes, all in the first half, and the D's pulling away to win in comprehensive fashion. Still to come tonight, Carlton up against the Western Bulldogs. We'll take you there shortly. Earlier, by the way, big win for the
Adelaide
Crows by 68 points.
That's the one, Cobb.
Over the Kangaroos. I can't do two things at once.
No.
Read the screen and say something out loud. Luke Davies-Uniacke, there was some concern on the siren about a knee injury that he picked up. The club, though, confirming that after a chat with the docs that he appears to be okay. So confident the early signs look good there despite that knee injury for Luke Davies-Uniacke. Let's go back into the winners' rooms. The Narm Demons by 39 points over the Hawks. Ray Chamberlain.
Thanks very much, Corbin. We've been very fortunate to be able to spend some time with Harry Sharp. Harry, 7 out of 3, 4 out of the last 5, and you're undefeated at the MCG this year. Talk us through into the vibe and what was the message coming into this week against what was a pretty impressive Hawthorn outfit?
Yeah, certainly a good start to the year. It's been a lot of fun to play with under Kingy. Coming into this week, we were just aiming on being ruthless, selfless, connected. Starts with our contest in the middle, and we knew if we took the ball deep and dangerous inside 50, that gave us the best chance of kicking goals.
You talk about going inside 50, 7 out of 11 games, you kicked 100 points. I think one of them was 99 points. Talk us through the work that's gone in throughout the preparation and then obviously so far this year in season 2026 to turn into a side that can bang 100 points or more up more often than not.
Yeah, certainly. We worked pretty hard, did a lot of running. We talked about getting up and out in the game and just really lengthening the opposition. You know, you see Disco Turner ending up on the forward flank. That's the way we want to play, get up in the game and just play some nice, fun, exciting footy.
I'm going to pass up to the boys after this next question, right? And they'll ask about your game and your golden run of goal kicking and all of the things. What I want to know about is Colton Tholstrop's role today. Obviously, it's a team game. Everyone's got different roles. I think he personifies what it means to be in a team. Talk us through that.
Yes, firstly, a selfless role, playing on the Wizard, one of the best small forward in the game. I thought he did a pretty good job. He's ruthless, he's competitive, and he showed that tonight.
Guys, any questions for Harry?
Absolutely, Harry. Well done. Loving watching you play this year. It looks like you're really starting to believe that pennies dropped. We know you spent some time up in Brisbane, of course, and that was a really hard team to crack into. But it looks like this year, off the back of your running power, which is clearly your real strength, that you're really starting to believe you're an AFL player.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, Kingy's given me that belief to be one of the best overload players in the team. I have a pretty good role to just get to every contest, so very fortunate for that, and it's certainly instilled a lot of belief in me, which has hopefully come out in games, and I'm loving it.
And you mentioned roles. Today especially was the case of that, the team, the whole being greater than the sum of the parts. I just thought you had great contributions all over the ground from, and you didn't have to rely on a Cozzy Pickett or a Max Gawn being best on ground. I think it's going to be hard to give the 3 votes today, to be honest. So that's when you know you're becoming a really good team.
Yeah, certainly. Everyone's raising the floor. You got Gawny, Cozzy leading by example every week and dominating every week, but it's also bringing us type of guys along with it, playing better, consistent footy every week and just building week to week.
Harry, we've got a bit of a running theme on the Saturday afternoon team, and we shout out your parents, which might sound strange, but I was down in the rooms in Geelong, I think, last year, and I met your lovely parents. They're great people. Are they in the rooms today?
They are, yes. Yeah, they'll be somewhere. I haven't caught eyes with them yet, but they'll be somewhere here.
What are their names? I need to be able to shout out their names when I mention them.
Wayne and Bree.
Wayne and Bree. They're
and are you going to elaborate too? Because I cross paths with Wayne. I think now, correct me if I'm wrong, Harry, but is it the boathouse down there on Lake Wendouree?
The Ballarat Yacht Club.
The Ballarat Yacht Club.
I'll give it to you.
Tossing up
Give it a shout out. Terrific establishment.
Someone text in and let us know about the fact that Wayne's very respected in Ballarat with his work in the community. Just also, today you kicked another goal, or you kicked 2 goals, but it means you were one of 10 players coming into this round who have kicked a goal in every game. You're aware of that streak, weren't you? Because I was starting to get a little nervous in the fourth quarter before you go.
Yeah, I'd love to tell you I wasn't thinking about it, but I certainly was heading into that last. But yeah, I trusted my run, and I was lucky enough to get on the end of two in the last quarter there, so yeah, I'll take it.
Now, part of the story went that in Ben's conversation with your dad, essentially Ben said, he's one of the best runners at the club. He's so quick and runs all these kilometres and everything else. And your dad very quickly clapped back and said, it doesn't matter how far you run if you can't get the footy.
I didn't want to tell Harry that.
Is he a pretty harsh marker, Harry, on your footy from time to time?
No, he's hit the nail on the head there. That was probably the case in Brisbane, not getting an opportunity. But, yeah, the run's coming out now and we're getting using numbers. So, fortunate for the game style that we're playing.
Harry, I'm really interested in your thoughts on Jack Steele. He's so unassuming with the way he goes about his football, but he looks like he's played in this Melbourne midfield forever. He's fitted in so seamlessly because he just looks so unselfish.
Oh, he does, yeah. He's come in and played a role and everything else. He's brought blokes like Tom Sparrow along with him, myself, Cade Chandler. Leads by example firstly, but then he's gives a lot of knowledge out during the week as well, so he's been a perfect fit for us.
Harry, go and see Wayne and Bree. They're favourites of ours here on ABC Sport. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, boys.
Harry Sharp, who's having a sensational year, as is the rest of his team at the Melbourne Footy Club. Career best year so far for Harry Sharp. I think that's fair to say through the first 11 games of the young season. It's up to game 44.
Well, what tends to happen, I think the point about, you can run some, but you've got to get the ball, and I think that's been the change in his game. He's actually started to get his hands on the ball more often in this season. Now, the goals are all great, but for the role he plays, if he's sort of up around, between 15 and 22 possessions, he's doing his job, absolutely.
Off the SMS, Muzz says, so good as a D's fan to turn up and see strong, exciting footy from Muzz. I think that's one thing. It's just that it's one thing to be competitive in the way they're playing, and I think it's more than any optimistic D's fan could ask for, but they're playing like a very attractive style.
For so many years, Bolly, we would come and watch Melbourne. It would be so structured and system. Look, and it won him a premiership. So no dramas there. But at the same time, I think it would be refreshing for the players now that, that the release of not having to stand on this blade of grass, and I'm certainly not having any go at Simon Goodwin because he's a terrific coach and you're seeing what he's doing at Sydney at the moment. But I think just the release of the pressure is really helping them.
I find that fascinating too. And Tom McCartan gave an interview, I think it was a couple of Thursdays ago when they were down in Melbourne as part of the television coverage post-game, and he essentially said and credited for their forward hand pass game and their attacking ball movement, credited Simon Goodwin.
Correct.
Said he's the reason for that. And it just stinks of that exact opportunity that change of scenery is good for both guys.
That's right.
It refreshes Simon Goodwin. It refreshes Melbourne. His legacy secured at the Melbourne Football Club as well.
Amazing what he did at Melbourne.
And I spoke about that with Ryan O'Keefe when I was up in Sydney, and he said, look, you got to remember that Goodwin took over from Paul Roos. Yeah. It would have been very much about contest and clearance as well. Yeah. So it's probably almost a continuation of that chain, and now he's changed it, or it can change his outlook as he goes to Sydney when they're doing that.
It's unusual, isn't it, that he's been able to get the part of the game going at Sydney and thriving, that he could never get going at Melbourne, and it's, different locations, square pegs, round holes, all the rest of it. Off the SMS, Ben from Freo. With you, Benny. Hate it. Since when does the umpire get to decide who stands?
It's a very good text.
Who stands the mark? This hasn't been Aussie rules ever, and Corbyn and Ray refuse to acknowledge what a fundamental change to our game the AFL has just hoisted upon us, and the poor old umps for no good reason. Leave our game alone.
I agree with that. Why?
Leave our game alone.
Even people in your hometown are turning against you, Corb.
But we're having two different conversations. One, if we've got the rule, let's implement it the way the rule was designed, which I think was Ray and my point. This conversation's about whether we should have the rule or not.
But the rule is not designed
two completely different conversations.
To tell a player to stop and stand on the mark when he's running.
So that's where I just think it gets really confusing, right? So I understand the principle of the rule. I like the stand rule like you, Corbyn, which most people don't. Okay. I just think it gets too convoluted and complicated if a player is not in a marking contest. So not actively contesting the mark, but in the 5 metre zone that one of them has to then go and stand. So if you're contesting it, sure.
If you want convoluted and confusing, I will give you a change to that rule, and you're now asking 40 umpires every weekend to decide who's in the marking contest and who's not. At the moment, it says if you're in the protected area, somebody has to stand. You work it out. If 6 of you fly for the ball, one person's got to stand. You're now going to ask the umpires to decide when everything else that they've got to do and holding the ball and everything else.
If you were never contesting it, Harry Morrison was never contesting that mark.
You want them to determine that.
Corbyn, if Essendon are in the grand final, okay,
And that is...
We're not doing fantasy.
Hey, we are. We are. This is a big hypothetical. Right? So the player takes... The opposition takes... The player takes the mark right on the edge of the square there.
Yep.
There's nobody in the goal square. He's chasing his opponent.
Yep.
Is the umpire then going to tell the Essendon player that he has to stand and we lose the grand final? Is that what you want?
That's how the rule.
But is that what you want?
But that's how.
No, I'm asking you. Is that what you want?
I'd be very disappointed.
Right.
I'd be very disappointed.
That's not in the spirit of the game. It's not.
So all I can think about is that would mean Essendon's had to win at least 3 finals together.
Correct.
Which is amazing.
I'll take that.
But that's what I'm getting at.
It's my best moment in 20 years.
If that's Tholstrup chasing Nick Watson, Nick Watson's doing that. That's what he does.
I just worry if these things live in the margins, and so all of a sudden some guys approaching a marking contest is a metre or two away, knows he's not going to get there, and says, "Oh, hang on, I was actually running with Ben," and then he decides he doesn't have to stand. Then we've got players. Think about how the players are going to expose that rule. They're just going to buddy up, get alongside someone, and then no one's going to be standing the marker.
Fine. The player plays on.
Falls apart.
Play on.
Yeah.
I think we're asking a lot of the umps.
I think we're asking a lot of the players too.
Hi, Ben. I listened to all 5 ABC AFL Daily pods, plus Clinchy Show on a Sunday with the Catch champion Cameron Ling. Thanks for the superb content from Brett in Canberra.
Good on you, Brett. So 5 drops a week. ABC AFL Daily, wherever you get your podcasts, all very different. We've got the award-winning Saturday show. We've also got Sunday nights with myself and Daniel Harford, who's one of the great minds of the game, consumes everything right across it.
Don't give him too much credit.
Monday night, so you can get it Tuesday morning with Mark Murphy, Corbin and myself. Bob Murphy on Tuesdays. Yep. Reaction to all of the Monday night footy shows. Don't worry about watching them. Watch something with your partner or by yourself on one of the streaming services. Catch up on Tuesday.
That's Ben's opinion on those shows, by the way. Paul in Darwin, good afternoon, guys. In the main news story on the front page of the Northern Territory newspapers was about Darwin getting its own AFL team in 2032. What's your opinion of that?
Yeah. Well,
20th team?
National competition.
Yeah, it's really the last spot on the map to be complete.
I think if their 20th team does come in, I think it's more likely to be in WA.
Ooh.
That's what I would assume.
All right, we're on the countdown here. Nam Demons, 39-point winners over Hawthorn. Scores level, quarter time, 6-point lead for the D's at half time, 20-point lead at three-quarter time, 39 in the finish. They did lead by 51 points on 2 different occasions in the final term. There were 5 lead changes all in the first half. No major injury concerns to speak of, which is good news. Melbourne by 39 full-time. Earlier today, it was a 68-point win for the Crows over North Melbourne. It was pretty ugly for North. We thought those days were behind them. They conceded 10 consecutive goals in the second quarter. Luke Davies-Uniacke, the club early indication is that he's pulled up pretty well from that knee injury on the final siren. So the club's saying they're confident that he's okay and the docs aren't too concerned by that knee complaint for Luke Davies-Uniacke. The votes here in the ABC Footballer of the Year.
Another tough one, Nicky. Was it last week?
Yeah,
a tough one as well.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's fair enough that I take the handball this week. I'm going to give one to Dylan Moore, number 1 ranked player on the ground. I thought he was clearly Hawthorn's best. It was just a classic Dylan Moore game, 27 possessions, high, up the ground, work rate back into a 10 score involvements and kicked 2 goals himself. He was right to the end. He's hard-working best, Dylan Moore. I want to give 2 to the Melbourne defence.
Yeah,
I know I can't do that in general, so I'm going to pick out Disco Turner, Daniel Turner. I'm going to give him 2. He took 5 intercept marks, most on the ground. And I can't recall him getting outmarked either. So I just thought, you're right, their defence in general, and particularly their key defenders, absolutely controlled the ground back there without Gunston, as we spoke about. Young Deer, no real impact on the game. Ramsden, I'm not sure that third ruckman's working for the Hawks. I think they'll have to go back to the drawing board there. So
Tip 2 with all 3 of them in the team.
That's right, and Meek and Reeves. So 2 to Dan Turner. And I'm going to give Tom Sparrow 3. 27 possessions, 10 contested, 8 clearances, 8 score involvements, 6 inside 50s. Had a chance to kick 2 goals, missed them both, but largely went head-to-head with Jai Newcomb, the Hawks skipper, who we know if he plays well, the Hawks tend to play well. And I thought he took the points there pretty comprehensively. So great, even performance across the board. We're really interested to see who the coaches give the votes to come Monday or Tuesday, whatever it is. But 3 to Sparrow, 2 to Turner. and 1 to Dylan Moore.
I like it. The votes in the ABC Footballer of the Year, the Narm Demons by 39 points. Meanwhile, some unfortunate news out of Collingwood, a confirmed ACL for Oscar Steen.
Yeah,
so they're
classic one.
Their young ruck.
Bad
It's
news.
unsurprising, an ACL tear there. Thanks to our whole crew here, to Stuart Hollywood-Baker, to Anthony Furchi on our socials, to Luke Ball, Adam Ramanauskas, Ben Cameron, myself,
Good job, guys.
Gilmas
Well
up here, Ray Chamberlain downstairs. Just before you go, and Brett Sprigg, by the way, back in the studio, we've got about a hot minute before we take you to Docklands. Josh Fraser to lead Carlton for the first time as the caretaker coach. What's to gain from the last 14 weeks for Carlton?
Everything. There's 14 games of football. They're obviously blooding another first gamer, so it's basically momentum. This team, it's not an old expiring team. This Carlton team, they've got to look to, you know, they bring in Ainsworth, Haywood, and Florent over an off season, so they're not a team that's completely on the decline. They just need to find an identity.
Play some debutants. Young Ison gets a game tonight, so find out what you've got on the list. Don't be surprised if this is a banana peel game for the Dogs tonight. The old new coach bounce.
I like it.
They might go okay, the Blues.
They're my super dog pick, so I'm...
okay. There you go. We're on the same wavelength.
And they were there nice and early, the Bulldogs, Paulie?
They were stripped and ready to go 2 hours,
ago.
15 minutes before the game. I reckon they've got the time wrong. I reckon they thought it was a 6:20 game.
They were there very early, the Western Bulldogs. As is our crew, headed up by Matt Clench. The full call coming up, as we love to say on ABC Sport, first at the footy and last to leave. Good night from the MCG.